be moving into Terror versus Hawk, so should be pretty exciting. Of course, thanks for having me. I try to give off that vibe anyway. It seems to be working. Guess I've fooled you. Thanks, bro. Oh man. It's gonna be good, dude. Once again, we have some premier foreigners. I mean, we say foreigners. Khala's obviously spent some time in Korea as well. But either way, this is going to be some pretty stunning matches. To start things off, we got Dandy Khala, TVP. Dandy, obviously, if you're in the chat, you know the man, the myth, the legend. He is top Peruvian Terran.
This is the Dandy series.
Yeah, this is
This
the
is
Dandy
the Peruvian,
series.
think Peruvian series.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Helping
between
to
Dandy
send
and
Dandy's kids to college.
I think he's making it work, man. It's definitely he's been
I
paying off
hope
some
he's
of this
saving up
for.
this money and buying property in Peru.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? Like a Dandy estate. He'd probably let you show up and swim in his indoor pool, and
Hopefully I can work for him.
yeah. Man, Khala though making some headway recently. He had a pretty epic series once again with Scan not too long ago, and I've kind of seen some changes in his play for the better. I want to say, not that he wasn't doing a whole lot right beforehand, but the guy's just a monster, specifically in this matchup as well. I would actually say this is both their best matchups.
I set up like a show match or two between Khala and Scan recently on new maps, and I think Khala won. Well, he lost one of them, but I was really surprised that he won because I didn't think he's as active as Scan and not as good as him. But maybe it was the map that Scan was like underperforming on, or Khala's still just really fucking good.
I mean, even the previous series we had before, right? Like Scan did win, but I don't feel like it was very lopsided one way or the other. Like he always brings in some pretty close games, but obviously Scan is Scan. Like, qualified for ASL and all that.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
and
He's
deserve it.
active.
So
He's playing all the time.
all the time. So this will be interesting, just because I feel like Dandy would tell you that his best matchup is TVP. And I think, I don't know much about Khala. I haven't really been able to, really interact with him a ton, but his PVT is obviously very, very strong.
Right.
So that's going to be quite the thing to, start things off for today. But then also, beyond that, we got our finals, which will be the Terror Hawk series. Terror,
Looking forward to that.
Yeah, I mean, that's my matchup. Like, that's my favorite
I love TVZ.
matchup. Yeah, it's just so exciting, so dynamic, so so interesting. Hawk being the maybe you could even argue the premier NA Zerg at the moment.
He beat Terror, I think, the last time we saw him play. Remember?
Yeah.
It was that Hawk and Striker versus Dandy and Terror one, and they all played best of threes and stuff.
Yep. And I think he was even like the underdog, I would say, against Terror going into that.
Striker as well. I think he won his matches.
I'm telling you, man, these NA Zergs, they're coming up. They're making it happen. But obviously, Terror is Terror, and you can guarantee he's taken some learnings from their previous series, and he's not gonna, make the same mistakes.
You never know what Terror's gonna go, eh? He's like a wild card with his builds. And I don't know, is Hawk kind of like unorthodox in some ways too, or does he play pretty predictable, pretty standard? I thought he kind of has his own style when I was listening to you cast about him.
He does. He'll mix it up more than any other NA Zerg. Like, I actually totally agree with what you're saying. I think, like, let's say you had someone like Zeke, who is also a pretty dominant Zerg in a series like this, you could almost say 9 times out of 10, Zeke's just going to do standard 2-hatch Muta opener. Whereas like Hawk has the other builds in his arsenal and uses
Mm.
them frequently. Like he'll go 2-hatch Lurker, he'll go 3-hatch opener, he'll do like third hatchery at a third base early. Like he mixes it all in, and doesn't just rely on having very strong standard play, which he also obviously has in his arsenal. But yeah, the flip side of that coin is I think Terror is the same thing, only in Terran form. Uh, I've said it time and time again, but Terror has the scariest 8-Rex opener I have seen outside Korea. I can't. No other player is even close.
Why
Not
is it
Dandy.
scary?
Uh, I don't know. It's the unit control. It
Like
works.
it can kill you, right? But then it also kind of throws you off, I think, and
Yeah,
steers the game in a different direction that like Terra wants to play in, maybe.
yeah, exactly. He kind of like coaxes you into a different playstyle. And also, the one thing I want to say about Terra's 8-Racks is it's not an all-in. Like he
Right.
countless time and time again does the 8-Racks into factory opener and doesn't use the bunker at the natural, doesn't pull a bunch of SCVs. Like he is not nearly as committed as it seems if you're playing against it. He's like just the master of that opener, and that's just one of his many openers. But yeah, he can obviously play anything as well. He can do mech openers. He can CC first,
I
which
know
just
once
makes
he said he
uh,
doesn't feel super comfortable going bio against really good Zergs, and I don't know what he means by really good Zergs. It could just mean just Koreans, or maybe
I'm
we'll see it versus Hawk too. But like he said he feels more comfortable going mech, and I'm not sure if we've seen him actually go mech more than bio.
I don't think we have, but I know the comment you're talking about, and I I think he is talking about that 25-2600 like Korean
Mm.
range. Like, like there is definitely a level where if your biocontrol isn't perfect and spot on, then like you will just get dominated
What's
by
more
good Zergs.
intimidating for Zergs? Is it a bio or a mech Terran opponent?
I think it depends. For me, I've played versus mech openers since like the dawn of time. It feels like I feel like good bio play is very. It's easier to lose against. Like a good bio player will just end the game in an instant, whereas
Mm.
mech, you're usually getting at least on 3 bases. It's usually like at least a game before you're at the threat of possibly going out and losing.
And that has to
So
do with the threat of like marine medics, mostly.
yeah, the Marine Medic just has so much DPS for the cost that they just shred everything. Like they just shred bio. They
Do
shred.
you think you're better able to like read the threat level of a Terran army when it's mech versus bio? Like you see 7 Goliaths and you're like, okay, I know how many mutas or zerglings I need to kill that. But when you see like a bunch of marines and medics, is this sort of like a question mark? You're not sure if you can engage or not? Or that's like really simple stuff for all zergs?
It's never simple. Like despite what anyone says, no, it's
Mm.
never simple. I think the nice thing about mech is that it doesn't heal itself, so you at least feel confident that if you throw enough units at it, it'll slowly get whittled down. Whereas if you just kind of throw Zerglings at a Bioforce, sometimes you don't realize it, but you're not even like making a dent in it. You're
Yeah,
not
right.
making
They just
headway.
murder everything there.
Yeah, and it's once again, it has two things. It's that DPS, like Marines throw out insane damage. Firebats versus Zerglings, insane damage. And then they have that sustainability with those medics. Whereas like mech, yeah, obviously very strong, a little tankier, um, but you can kind of slowly chunk it down, especially if you have like the econ. But that's not always the case with bio. Like the other thing is drop play, right? When you see like a couple dropships headed to your main and it's bio, like you can lose a game so quickly.
Yeah.
Bio will tear down a defiler mound, a spire, clear your drone line in an instant. Um, but like mech always has to face you head on. There's just not enough gas to go mech drop, really. Obviously there's like vulture drop, which you can kind of argue counts, but you're only killing drones with that. Bio kills everything. So
Is that the
it's
tougher matchup for you, or is it ZVP?
it's funny. It always changes, but I would feel like I have a very firm grasp and understanding of Zerg vs Terran, but when it comes to execution, it's maybe a little more difficult in the Zerg vs Protoss matchup for me specifically.
Interesting.
Now, when you watch a player like Eon Zerg murders Protoss players. Like he'll play the best of the best Protoss in the foreign scene all day and do just fine. So I think it's a little bit depends on the player. But personally,
Right.
for me, I have a little bit harder of a time, I feel like, than I should against Protoss than Terrans. Yeah.
So what's your prediction? Hawk versus Terror. Do you think Hawk's gonna take it?
I mean, I got to root for my NA Zergs. There's few of us, so we got to stick together. I want him to win, but it's obviously going to be a very, very close series. I'll call this one a 4 to let's say 4-3 for Hawk.
We're gonna have 5 games. So
5
you
games,
say
fair. Okay, I'll say 3-2. 3-2 for Hawk then. Yeah.
You think Dandy's gonna be lucky if he gets 1 game off Khala? It's that sort of thing.
No, I would expect Dandy to get at least a game off of Khala. I'll also say that this might be the weekend or the event that Peru maybe isn't favored in. They're usually cleaning up both Terror and Dandy week over week, but Khala's a force, man. He very much could be playing in the finals of an event like this weekend. So I'll say 3-2 as well for Khala.
You're
It's gonna be
generous.
close. Yeah.
Generous predictor. I watched the Gypsy versus Khala one, and Gypsy's just on top of his game and played really well. I think he got maybe 1 or 2 games off. I'm not sure if Dandy is going to be able to do the same. Dandy plays a ton, excuse me, and he's really good, but in terms of his outcomes, doesn't seem as consistent as other players. He might not be as hungry for that win just because he plays every day for several hours, and he's just like a monetizer on a stream.
Yeah, I mean,
it might be just his attitude towards the game. I'm not saying he's not good enough to get those wins, but I wonder if it's a matter of just conviction and drive and really wanting to do it. Gypsy strikes me as somebody who gives it his all, and I respect that, right? And watching his games versus Khala, that was still, you can still see the gap between.
And I mean, Gypsy has been playing phenomenally lately. He's finally, there's a few of us. I've been playing with Gypsy since he was a Zerg player and 14.
Oh, is that right?
Oh yeah. He goes back to the media days. He was always hanging out with us on,
Cool.
Ventrilo back in the day. Always been a super awesome dude, a student of the game. But I've known, at least for, let's say, since the beginning of Remastered, that holy crap, Gypsy is a force, and it's just taken him a little while to play to, I guess, the expectations that the rest of us had growing up with him, because he has been such a good player in the shadows. So it's super dope seeing him finally starting to pop off here and get some big wins.
That's cool, man. I didn't know he was a Zerg player. I wonder if he's ashamed.
No.
I'm just joking.
No, I think he got frustrated just like the rest of us Zerg players.
When I came back, people were just so serious about their allegiance to the race. All this hate towards Protoss and Terrans hating Zergs. I know at some level it's funny, but at some level it's super serious because people are playing the game and it's tilting and frustrating and talking about balance.
Yeah, I know. I wish it would stop, if I'm being honest. There's a reason why we're all playing this game, right? No other RTS is nearly as balanced as StarCraft Remastered, StarCraft Brood War. So yeah, I get it.
But
cute.
I bet you believe that Zerg is probably the most disadvantaged race, don't you, Machine? Admit it.
No, I don't.
I think there's a deep conviction among Zerg players, especially.
Okay,
Terrans complain a lot about Protoss.
I'll tell you
Zergs, I
this.
think, complain against both Terran and Protoss. Am I wrong, or is that like?
Oh no, not for me. I know that at the highest. Okay, the only thing that matters is the highest level. Right? Like you never balance a game based on like your D players. When you watch players like Soma, players like Larva, they make Zerg versus Protoss look broken. And I really mean that. They make it look very Zerg favored. And I mean, just to be brutally honest, when you look at the stat, it is. You know, I know that if I had 4 arms and 500 IQ, I could probably play pretty well, like, in like Zerg vs Protoss. Okay, if I had to give a complaint for anything as far as like being tilted or whatever, I think latency in certain matchups matters more than others, and specifically like when you're playing a Zerg vs Terran and you need like perfect muta control, and you're playing someone like Scan, and you can't get your mutas to fire and pick off like small chunks of Marines.
Right.
It's nearly impossible at some point. So I have more complaints about that than anything else.
It's complicated, right? Like you have at one level, it's the race, it's the matchup, and then you have like you're saying TR, and then there's also the map. There's like all these balance discussions about the race, the map, whether there's lag or not.
Yep, whether there's lag or not, whether units are responding, like there's definitely, it's complicated. It's not as cut and dry as people make it seem. Oh well, this race is just broken. No, it's never like that. I think it gets a lot of traction because everyone likes to watch Artosis, and he's maybe said some unfavorable things
I
for our
think
fellow
it's actually,
Protoss here in the chat.
it might actually be like productive in the way that like it opens up a discussion about these things. It makes it interesting. He makes it super funny, which I like, right?
Yeah, he does make it.
And that's what it's all about, having fun, and
True. It is all about having fun, having a good time with it.
Yeah, but some people are just angry, man. I go to some streams and
Yep.
this one guy was just saying scum toss for like 40 minutes. First I was like, okay, he's joking. And I'm like, wow, this guy, like,
No, some of them aren't joking.
He must have some sort of like zealot, like voodoo doll that he pokes like needles into her and shit. It's just full of hate towards Protoss.
I hope this Protoss player breaks.
I kind of get it too. Like watching the streams and like that zealot coming to your base, it doesn't die. Like I can see how that like just makes you hate the race. And Protoss players, I mean, it's the race, it's not the players. They're just so aggressive, right? And they're constantly just attacking you with shit. So
these big blocky units that just march at you and you can't. They're like mini Terminators just running you down. It can be a little frustrating. I see that, but I don't know, man. You know me. I'm one of those players that I've played this game long enough that I realize that, I mean, I'm not playing good enough to be at a level to where race would even matter yet. Like if you're not 26, I think Ganny.
You're being pretty modest.
If you're not 25, 2600, and like you shouldn't be blaming the race. Like you really
it's a good point, yeah. But you're like one of the best players, right? If you look at it statistically, there's very few even A rank. There's a lot of F and D and C rankers.
I think that's negotiable. We should ask Artosis next time we see him what he thinks of me.
And you've been around for a long time and consistently good.
I am very old, yes.
We should be starting the first match soon.
Ooh, okay. I think in order to kick things off here, PvP, I want a big one, man. I want a big 4-player map to get these guys warmed up. Let's go. We're just using basically ladder map pool. Okay. Let's just do polypoid. Let's see it. I think that's a good one. So yeah, it looks like we got Dandy and we got Khala on deck. They have arrived. They are ready to go. We will be kicking the game off here on polypoid here shortly. Speak of the devil.
Mhm.
It's the duck. What's up, Pato?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, guys, if you want to grab a drink or eat on stream, whatever, if you need to disappear for a little bit, it's all good. I really appreciate you guys volunteering to cast all the time, but I don't want it to be, a burden.
You are, but it's okay.
Oh, I'm all good. I drink anyway, so you can bet I got my wine glass next to me here. Cheers.
Buenas noches a todos los que están hablando de hispanohablantes. Ya vamos a comenzar con los matches, así que no impacienten. Disculpen si estoy comiendo, pero recién llego a trabajar y estoy haciendo lo que se pueda. Así que un abrazo a todos.
So, how's it going, Pato?
Good. Just arrived home, didn't have dinner yet, so...
Okay.
Yes, you should.
All right, folks. Here we go. Game 1 of Dandy versus Khala on Polypoid. Spawning at the top right as the Gray Terran from Peru, we have Soul T Dandy. And spawning at the bottom left as the Brown Protoss, we have Khala. I think this is fine. It's fine for me. So I'm so glad that I got to pick the first map, and we're getting a cross-map game 1. One thing I'll say, just getting things kicked off here, Khala, a player that loves 12 necks openers in this matchup, and I think it's great. I don't think there's a stronger build in the matchup to open with, especially in a cross position like this. So I'm really hoping we see him pull that out here in game 1.
Yeah, I have to agree. 12 Nexus, all the fast Nexus reloaders are so strong, and they are nearly impossible to break. You have to have a very precise timing, and you have to scout it correctly. If you are cross spawn, don't even try. So,
yeah.
But we see that he builds a gate, so it's not gonna be this game, sadly for him.
Yeah, not a bad call. Game 1, you're still kind of feeling out your opponent. Not that these guys haven't played previously, but it might be a good way to kind of kick off a series like this. Khala just opting for some sort of a standard build order, doesn't want to take any kind of a risk. Dandy, we're seeing, it looks like, with a gaseous opener, which I feel like has kind of been his staple in the matchup. He loves getting those SCVs out as quickly as he can early. He's got the marine control to be able to hold off a natural, early on like this. So, this is kind of cool to see from our Peruvian Terran as well.
Well, as you said, having a 15cc, in my opinion, is the way to go. First of all, because you're going to get a lot of 12 Nexus or fast Nexus, so it's a way to don't be behind and to just play a macro game. You know that even though maybe they can get aggressive, you will be able to defend. It's okay, and it's the most safe opener in my opinion. So I play it a lot, and I'm starting to like it a lot.
I'm not really the most familiar with how 15cc matches up against 14 Nexus. You're saying it kind of mitigates the advantage a little bit. Would you still say 12 Nexus would be, have a slight advantage against this?
12 Nexus has an advantage, but if you make a gas factory expand, you are able to kill it. If not, okay, you're like giving the products a little bit advantage, but it's not terrible. It's playable. But it's worse to do like factory expand cross position when the Protoss is doing 12 Nexus, because in that case you are way behind.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense. Well, as is, I want to say Dandy has a pretty good start here. I would say he maybe is in the slightly better position with that earlier, natural against Khala's Gateway Expo opener. Um, really just doing dandy things, making SCVs, not missing his depot timings. He's got that bunker up well in advance. 2 factories down inside the main. We see Khala. I wasn't sure if he was going to try to run by that bunker there and do some fancy stuff, but opting to just back off with the contain. Ooh, very quick robo out of Khala, though. I like this robo cross map, actually.
Yeah, the most normal thing to do is to make a river to harass and control your opponent. Okay, that's good.
Ooh,
That's good. Okay.
Oof.
So whenever you can make a river to control your opponent, you're free to expand. Plus the timings, like the 6:30 free tanks and vulture timing, is not that good. It's easy to defend. Whenever you make a river or just pure goon, it's not going to have an impact on Khala. So maybe a river is a good choice to go.
Yeah, I think it might be a pretty good choice, honestly. I don't know. I feel like there's no sense in trying to just power down gateway units cross map. At least with that robo, he can kind of put the pressure on with the reaver, force turrets cross map, and then kind of back out from there. Whoa, is that not the fastest freaking third command center?
It's way too fast.
But he also knows where Khala's at. I actually think Dandy just has the perfect read on the situation here. Ooh, he's got to get that bunker repaired, though. Whoa, I love this from Dandy.
Yeah, the question is, does he know that it's not going to be a river? Because if not, how can he defend?
Yeah, you're right. I don't know how he knows this isn't a reaver, to be honest with you. Maybe it's just a guess? I feel like Khala, I don't know, maybe Khala doesn't tend to open a lot of reaver. Maybe he does just use the robo for obs and maybe like a bulldog or something. Ooh, here we go.
Here comes the scout. No.
The 2 Dragoon drop. No. What? Have you ever seen that before?
Now I have.
No, I have.
Now I feel wiser now. I can tell my kids, "Hey, Pato Junior, you know, someday ago I saw like a 2-goon drop."
And it killed the tank. Yeah, it worked and got out. I was like, I was wondering if it was scouting.
I was casting with people from other countries, and I saw a 2-goon drop, and it worked.
That was bizarre, but either way, it did great damage here, getting the first free tank of the game. Dandy's still looking to utilize this third command center, moving out with only the 4 tanks, making some turrets, but it's obviously all being scouted at the moment. Khala, meanwhile, dropping 2 more Nexuses, and even though he's able to put some pressure on this third, he's still going to manage to be a base up, even after this, let's call it a greedy opening from Dandy.
Yeah, it's very hard because I want to know if he's able to defend like a mass gateway situation.
Yeah, I don't feel like he can, but it just makes me think that he's got a good read given his position. Here we go. Reaver moving in.
And that's
2 tanks dropping.
Oh my god.
Just phenomenal control here from Khala. Game 1. He's going to get another tank. Look at the Dragoon spread, just minimizing any and all splash damage from these siege tanks. In the end, I think he's going to be able to take the third, but not before the tank count's been reduced significantly.
Yeah, he traded so good. And that Reaver, we have to like put like a title on him, like General Cruel or something like that. He killed like 4 tanks. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, picked up at the last second. How crazy is that?
Crawl is immortal and he takes tanks. Oh, there.
Ooh.
Oh, Jinxin.
Jinxed it.
TQ team Jinxin Peruvian since since
Yeah.
2020.
Oh my gosh, since 2020. Nothing will top with my
Yeah.
freaking
Terror.
jinxing terror. I'll never forget that. That was insane.
Oh
me-
my god. Okay,
Yeah.
well, Danny managed to get his third, so I think he's good. And Khala doesn't seem to play like most people on ladder, which like play like 2 fast nexus and then spam 10 gateways and go like max out 11 minutes push. So I think
Yeah.
that's works out for Dandy, right?
I don't know because I mean we already see Khala. Obviously, those were very efficient trades for Khala. You know, trading, let's say a Dragoon per siege tank or something like that. But on top of that, he's double expoed. Probe counts literally ridiculous, and he's tech to Arbiter at the same time. He also didn't really wall any of the bases because he's scouted that it's just siege opener. There's no what do you call them, vultures really in production until now, so he's under no threat of really being harassed. I feel like Khala got definitely the better end of this. Like, yes, Dandy did hold a third base, but it's a mineral only on Polypoid, and
Yeah.
now he's up against 3 gas with Arbiter.
Yeah, so unless Dandy is planning to move out with like a fast +1 push or something like that, something like tricky. In a long run, I don't know if that's a good opener because he had to invest so much in defense, and now he doesn't have upgrades, which is the heart of the Terran army.
Yeah, definitely is. Upgrades are so key for Terran. So you called it. This is a big like 7-8 fact push. I think 7 fact cross map. And it's only pure Dragoon. This is a really funky timing. I did not think this was going to work at all. Obviously, I was just talking about how great of a position Khala was in. But Dandy not even sieging. What? He just massacred these Dragoons. And yeah, he's caught in this weird timing where there's no Arbiter quite yet. Slow Solids are on top of the tanks now, though, getting some good trades there, finally, is Khala. But man, this looks a little scary.
Well, this is the part of the game where the product just make Dragoons and then switches to Zealots, so they delay the Zealot speed as much as possible in order to have their tech up, to have their arbiters and stuff, so it makes sense that he only had Dragoons at the time, but now he's just macroing up. And I don't know, because now he lost all his Dragoons. Dragoons take a lot of time to build.
Still though, Dandy, on the flip side of the coin, lost all his tanks. Are we not afraid for Dandy here?
I'm always afraid for Terran.
Yeah.
You can never sleep in a confident way.
There are no obs here, so these mines have a lot of potential to deal some good damage. Ooh, very nice. Using the ARB to try to protect some of these probes, but Dandy wisely scanning and killing off the majority of the probes at the mineral only, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot Khala can do about it. This is phenomenal play from our Peruvian Terran.
And answering for General Gruel, the river, there's the tank hero. There's a tank hero in the middle of 1200 vultures.
Ooh. Finally, another big swallow units comes out here for Khala, but not before a significant amount of probes were lost at that mineral only.
Okay, so as you said, we don't have much tanks, and Dandy didn't take a third gas, so this is. I would be concerned if I would be Dandy at this point because he didn't destroy an expansion. Now Khala is making the switch into arbiters, and I don't know if he has enough gas to reestablish his tank count, and also upgrade into 3-2 or at least 2-1. Does he have a starport or a science facility?
He doesn't. I don't think.
Okay, so yeah, he's screwed.
Yeah, this was like a big one-hit wonder type scenario. It was so close, man. I think if he was maybe a little quicker on the siege, he might have mopped up that first force from Khala. But as is, Khala using these Reavers and his rally to hold.
Yeah, there's no way to win now unless he just plays super defensive mode and Danny 200 max out Protoss like 4 times in a row, and then yeah, but not going to happen.
Yeah,
So,
Khala getting on top of these siege tanks, removing about half of them. Also has cleared the turrets now, so this Arbiter is going to be an issue. Danny's having to use all of his scans up here just to be able to gain vision of this army.
it's like having an army of Dark Templars.
Command center being repaired by Dandy. Another scan going down. Khala may be over-focusing that command center slightly, but does wisely opt to back off. Meanwhile, Khala taking 6 o'clock, so this will be his 5th base. Now in a pretty phenomenal lead. Dandy, though, still keeping in there, fighting the good fight. Is currently about 70 supply down from Khala. It's really hard to come back from a position like this.
Yeah, without the third gas, I would say it's nearly impossible in this position since.
Or even upgrades, right? Yeah.
Yeah, upgrades, vessel. He needs a lot of investment. Oh,
Ooh, there's just so much Protoss here. Yeah.
yeah, he followed. I don't need to get to the base. GG.
GG is called. Game 1 going to Khala. Pretty spectacular fashion there, but not without Dandy giving up quite, a good show. I was still convinced when I saw all those tanks walking in towards the mineral only for Khala. It felt like Dandy might have had it there, but Khala was just barely able to hold off. Well, I think game 1 kind of went how, we were kind of suspecting. Khala, pretty phenomenal Protoss at the moment. I think you could pretty safely say is the favorite in this series. But Dandy giving him a really good fight in probably his best matchup. So hats off. You pick this one, Pato. You got it.
Sylphid?
Which one?
Sylphid?
Okay.
On them up.
The good map.
No, but it's fun.
I feel like big 2 or 3 base timings could be a little tough for Protoss here. Like that outer middle third, let's say, is a pretty easy position to push from. And if they secure the one outside the Protoss natural, it's just game over a lot of the times.
Dude, Andy wins. Yeah. I just
He could
imagine
do it.
how.
You know what? Dandy and I are going to prove you wrong here.
And when Dandy fails, he's gonna run into Mexico and machine will disconnect.
All right, folks, here we go. Game 2. Khala spawning at the 12 o'clock position on Sylphid as the green Protoss. And spawning at the bottom left as the yellow Terran, switching it up. It is Salty Dandy.
Arriba a las 12 en punto tenemos al Protos de color verde, tenemos al señor Khala de Corea del Sur. Mientras que abajo a la izquierda de color amarillo rojo tenemos a nuestro Terran del Perú, tenemos a Soul T Dandy. Un saludo a toda la gente de Latinoamérica, disculpen un poquito, estamos casteando mayoritariamente en inglés. Pero bueno, este ya es el segundo match. Estos van a ser 5 juegos entre Dandy y Khala y luego vamos a tener 5 partidas entre Terror y Hawk. Así que tenemos una noche con mucho StarCraft y de la mejor calidad posible.
I know, right? I was just saying, like, I was just thinking, I wish Pato would be like, oh, Machine, you have very beautiful eyes.
Yeah, it's like Antonio Banderas seduction.
Yeah. Yes! Dude, you are so right. You are the Antonio Banderas of StarCraft casting. Oh my god. I fucking love that, actually.
we have to give like perfumes into Q, something like that. Yeah, something like that. We'll talk in Spanish and weird languages.
That would be awesome. Oh boy, I was just thinking, not really a 12 Nexus map here, so
No.
another gate, pretty standard gate gas opener here from Khala. Dandy not going for that gasless either. Wonder why? Maybe just because it's a smaller map or something. That's my guess anyway. Like smaller distance between natural to natural, maybe he just feels a little more vulnerable to, I don't know, proxy gates or something.
Yeah, this is an aggressive map. This is a map to cheese, to be aggressive, to have a build in your back. Like a one-punch man.
Like a one-punch man, okay. Alright, SCV scouting pretty quickly here for Dandy. We'll see that this is just standard no zealot opener. Not just sees that range, Dragoon range being upgraded. Meanwhile, Khala, I don't believe, has even sent a scout out yet. This is a very late scout. He's at 20 supply before he's sending his first probe out. And it looks to just be putting a Nexus in natural. That's, I don't feel like I see that too often.
We're brothers. We're brothers.
Yeah, we're brothers.
No matter what you do, I will stop it without seeing.
Once I find your base, I'll send my units at you and kill you.
That's all I need to know. Where's your base? Entonces vemos que Khala abrió un pilar bastante greedy, ¿no? Donde fue 20 Nexus sin siquiera escautear, mientras que Dandy parece que está jugando un poquito más seguro, tal vez ir a un push FD, un Vulture, un tanque minas, es lo que, porque su command center está haciendo muy tarde, así que a mí me está dando la impresión que va a ir con 6 marines, un tanque, un Vulture a tratar de pushear. Lo cual no sé si va a ser tan efectivo, pero bueno, vamos a ver.
I kind of got what you were saying there. You think this is an FD push, huh?
Yeah, because the command center timing is way too off, and there's way too much marines, just one factory, so if it doesn't make an FD push, I will be so confused.
I mean, he'll just be behind, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, the probe already saw like 6 marines, so I think Khala is wise enough to know exactly what this is. Also, no bunker, right?
Yeah, no bunker, marines, one tank. Yeah, Khala. You don't get easier scouting than that. Don't lose the Dragoon though, please.
Lose it, Khala. Don't listen to him.
Just to make it interesting. Stop the push with one Dragoon left.
Yeah. And then Khala just... I don't know, he's got 2 tanks. Do you wait for 2 or 3? I forget. Oh, this looks like enough.
Yeah, I don't make this push myself. I was make it like one long time ago, but it doesn't work. Good Protoss user. Yeah, it's mine. It's a push that lasts the Korean term popularized. But now almost all the protos can stop it with the hold position dragoons. So. If you know where your H is in the keyboard, you're good. See?
Wow. Hold position dragoons. Ooh, one dragoon does fall. Ooh. Man, Pato really showing some respect here for the Protoss raid. Definitely an Artosis viewer.
Yeah.
Ooh, one tank does fall, and it looks like Pato's called it. He's just kind of done this with Dragoon only. Ooh! Good pickups there by Dandy, just grabbing a few probes though. Oh, is he gonna get away?
No.
Nope. Wow, well, that was exciting.
Yeah. So this is awkward. So now
Ooh,
this
Reaver.
game will go like downhill for Dandy.
Is this another 2 Dragoon drop?
Yeah, but now with no tank. There's no tank, so it's a Reaver.
That one hit and didn't blow anything up.
Yeah. Go figure. But there's nothing to stop that hero Reaver, so
I don't know.
it would be like,
He could drop it on top of a mine that doesn't exist.
yeah. But no.
Wow, look at
So
that.
GG.
GG is called by Dandy. And Khala quickly going up 2-0, defending that FD timing. And then with hold position Dragoons, apparently. Yeah, that was making it look easy, man. Khala quickly going up 2-0. And I don't know, man, that's a good... I think it's a decent map for Terran, so it's going to be a little more difficult to find a, you know, more Terran-favored map from here.
What map do you want, Machine?
Oh, buddy.
And you need something.
Not Eclipse. Let's go with Revolver. Let's go with Revolver.
Un saludo para Hayden, un saludo para Rasex, Tildor y Cheloman. Saludos a toda la gente de Bolivia, gracias por los lindos comentarios. Vamos 2-0 en el match de Dandy contra Khala, donde Dandy todavía no puede hacerle frente a este exponente Protoss y vamos a ver qué pasa, si se le ocurre una mejor idea, porque por ahora está fallando su plan.
Pato, I hope you win some TVP, so that hate in your heart for Protoss
It will never go away.
fades
It will
away a
never
little
fade
bit.
away.
It will never go away.
It will never fade away. I will
It's
be
such a
angry all my
biased
life.
caster, man.
Yeah, I know. But I don't hide it. Un saludo para toda la comunidad chilena de hueones. Un abrazo fuerte para todos los que están mirando.
I was just thinking, Artosis has made a living on being a biased caster, so he could probably go pretty far. You know what we're gonna see this game, Pato? We're definitely seeing a 12 next here.
Yeah, this
Revolver,
is my first one. Yeah,
it's like
it's
the ultimate.
impossible. Yeah, it's impossible. If you go to 12 Nexus, even though I go like double A racks, he will stop me.
Like they block the ramp with probes only.
Yeah,
Just
one
never-
pro. Yeah, he will dance with probes. Whole position probes.
It'll be 12 next forge, just like one cannon or two cannons
Yeah.
at the top. Oh man, here we go. Revolver spawning at the top right as that light blue. It is Salty Dandy. And currently up 2-0 in the series, spawning at the bottom left. Cross map as the brown Protoss. We once again have Khala.
Arriba de color celeste, diría, azul medio raro. Tenemos al Terran peruano, tenemos a Dandy. Mientras que abajo de color marrón tenemos al Protoss de Sur Corea, tenemos a Khala. Y como estamos hablando con el señor Machine, este es un mapa hermoso, hermoso para hacer 12 Nexus. Así que si las predicciones de sus casters favoritos son correctas, este es un mapa donde van a jugar greedy y creemos que aunque Dandy juegue agresivo, no sé si va a agarpar más. Y encima está en cross position, así que la veo como media complicada. Un 12 Nexus le gana a todos, muchachos, a ver si tenemos razón.
You know, I was just thinking, I sure hope we get to see like a command center first out of Dandy, right? You're down 0-2, it's Khala. He's obviously freakishly good at Protoss. You got to take some risks at some point. But you know what? Dandy's like, nope, I'm going to beat him straight up. And we also don't see the 12 Nexus, so clearly shows I don't know what I'm talking about at all.
Yeah, so I'm pretty much surprised that he didn't try at the 12 Nexus this game, to be honest, but I don't know, maybe one gateway salad into Nexus? Yeah, that's it.
Ooh, you're so smart. It is. Yeah.
Even though I choose to play Terran, so
Yeah,
not that
can't be that smart.
Yeah.
You're killing me today. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
hard. He probably
sadly.
is, you know. As long as
Sadly,
you played
sadly, yes.
10 games or so with it, that's about enough time, right?
Yeah. Sadly.
It's like being a Marth player in Super Smash Bros. You know, you just gotta spin the D stick around a little bit, and you just kill people. Like. So, true story. I was a Samus player. I played in Melee. I'm crap, but I played in college for many, many years. And I got so fed up with losing to Marth players that I started picking Marth. And yes, very quickly my Marth was better than my Samus. Not that it was any good at all. But yeah, I love using that analogy. A lot of it has to do with how much time you spend in it, but I'll tell you this: I did start off as a Terran player, believe it or not.
Oh my god!
I was a huge Boxer fan. Like, you know, when Boxer was at his peak, I was really getting into playing 1v1, and I played for many months and didn't place very well in, like, you know, WCG events and stuff. Switched back to Zerg, and I did a lot better, so I can't even lie. Like, I'm definitely a better Zerg player than Terran. It was the bio control, man. Controlling Marines and medics versus Zerg it is not easy. People talk about muta control, and obviously that takes some skill, but you know, very underrated is like how hard it is to select these tiny little fast moving Marines that have no health and, you know, like dodge lurker spines. And
it was so cool watching Boxer though. It was like imitating Jordan, you know, from basketball.
Yes, that is.
I remember
exactly
watching that one Marine versus Lurker. I think that was Boxer, if I'm not. And like, I just wanted to do that.
Yeah,
I did, and so many of my Marines died just practicing it. I think there was an UMS or something to practice it, but it was that sort of thing. It was like, wow, this guy's so amazing, and he could have probably been amazing with any race he played.
Oh yeah, and I think actually Boxer even did some show matches with other races, and he proved he was very good. Yeah,
he remember those.
Truth be told, he started playing Protoss, but
is that right?
Yep, he played another race because, and this is on his biography, he started playing Terran because everyone was Protoss.
Yep. Back then, if you remember, Terrans didn't wall.
Another fucking anti-Protoss propaganda piece of information in Pato's arsenal, man.
Yeah, it is like true. It's facts, not opinion.
Wikipedia anti-Protoss.
Yeah.
He's the moderator of it.
Pato,
don't be ashamed of your roots.
I'm not. I was a pro user as well, and I play a very good PvT was one of my best matches in the game, and I played CVP really good back then as well.
Okay, okay. Wish I played ZVP really good.
Back in the day. Now, if I watch a replay of me playing CVP, I probably would cry. But I played expansion. Ox. It's not StarCraft original. They're workhorses, please. I just don't use them.
They're tough to use. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Ox. Yeah, yeah.
2 gate tablets.
I mean, Protoss had a really tough time with Zerg back before then. Like, they truly did. Bisu definitely revolutionized the matchup at a later date than anyone else. You know, beyond when Boxer or I Love Uv or any of those guys. You know, Bisu was making big changes in 2009, 2010. Like, that was crazy.
Well, I don't know if you watch ASL today, but Scan
did.
and Ayoken were casting a Mong, and they recognized that Mong came up with a very good TPC transition that maybe will inspire some Terran players, higher tier Terran players such as Rush, Royal, or Light.
No way.
Yeah, and Scan said you cannot be waiting for Flash to come up with a build. He's not here anymore. Oh, that river. Oh, okay, sorry. I was distracted by the death of that river.
Man, that was a nice little try push there from Khala, but obviously this is a pretty quick third command center here from Dandy, doing what he needs to do. But yeah, back to the Mong talk. I actually haven't seen the ASL, but I'm gonna check it out later tonight.
Yeah, check it out. Mong played. He got out all the matches. He played like really good. And Scan and Ayoken both talk about how good he did. So it's definitely worth the watch.
Okay, I'm pretty close with Ayoken, and I mean, for him to say something like revolutionizing the Terran race, he must think the world of Mong at the moment, honestly. Here we go, another big, just a 4 Dragoon timing versus 3 tanks, but Khala making it look easy. Yeah, Dandy making it look easy.
Maybe it is.
Oh my god! Dude, you're a legend, Pato. You're a legend. I'm loving it now. I just want the anti-Protoss stream. Yeah. He has corrupted. I'm in the dark side now.
I want the t-shirt that say I hate products.
And it just has your face on it, you know? Next time we get a sponsor, man, we'll get that t-shirt.
Yeah, please. So I'm feeling like Khala is like spinning the wheel, the build order wheel, and now he's making carriers. So thinking, how can I beat Dandy this time? So now I go 2 base carrier, and it will work. I don't know why it will work.
It's cross map.
It's cross map. I don't know if Dandy.
I have never seen that. He suicides one obs to get the other one in the main, and he somehow knows that there's no scan. I mean, obviously Colin, because you would obviously just get a Goliath or a Marine, right, and just scan the obs, but he somehow knows there is no academy out yet for Dandy, and we'll get this free scout off. This is insane.
Un saludo para Jesús Efesto, no especificó de dónde, pero te mando un saludo para Serg1982, que está pidiendo un poco de español, pero somos así, hablamos en inglés, no somos gente inclusiva. Un abrazo a toda la gente de Sal y Vale de Argentina también, que está ahí mirando. So, yeah, I don't know that Dandy has a clue of what's going on. I think he maybe suspect there are way too not enough units.
Yeah, so, I think so.
He
From
should.
What
he should. I don't know. Maybe I think this is my lucky day. He's not macroing like a monster, and then 6 carriers arrive.
Oh, I don't think Dandy thinks that at all at the moment. Like, honestly, Dandy is getting core trades.
Oh, there.
Oh,
there.
and he sees it, so now he knows exactly what's going on. But man, I feel like when I watch Dandy play this series so far, he almost has too much respect for Khala that he's like, I need to get some kind of an advantage. Two
Like
out of the
cutting
3
corners.
games. Yeah, he's let's not say cutting corners, but rushing corners. Like he's trying to take this third so fast, and it's because he feels like, okay, if we have an even game, it's Khala. He's gonna be able to outpace me. He's gonna be able to out micro me. So I need to get a little bit of an econ advantage. And when he rushes that, Khala's going, no, no, no. Okay, let's hold that thought. Whoa. Big potential damage here from Dandy. Finding that hole. Dandy known for his vulture control. Getting some big kills there and getting out. This was, see, this is the kind of stuff I like seeing Dandy do. You know, Pato, you really are the first one to kind of turn me on to noticing it. But
Oh my
Dandy he has incredible. Yeah, okay, it also to turn me on. Yeah. But
I did it! I did it!
you did it, man. You did it. I mean, you had me at Antonio Banderas.
Yeah. Tonto.
It's the perfume. Oh man. This is first 3 carriers moving across the map though for Khala. This could be trouble. Oh no, it's not. That's a lot of Goliaths, and he's got turrets. I don't know. Maybe Dandy's all right here. What do you think?
Yeah.
Alright, get off the turn me on comment. You know? Pato, fix your
Maybe-
dirty duck brain, man.
Maybe, I don't know, he must have like 6 carriers to be effective. 4 is not enough, could fight it easily, so
Why does Dandy feel confident to push out here?
that's a good question, my friend, that's a good question.
I mean, he's making it work though. Like you know, like sometimes I just feel like I don't understand this game at all, and this is one of those times. Like, he did some good damage to Dandy early. Yes, Dandy has the faster third, but like definitely calls ahead with the tech here. But Dandy's just feeling confident to march across the map, and actually Khala looks to be a little scared at the moment. He's even just going for a counter. Oh no, this might not be good, actually. Yeah, Dandy even coming back.
Yeah, so the problem, I watch like a Barracks, the pro Korean player tutorial, when he said that versus carrier, you just need 12 tanks and then just spam vultures and Goliath.
Okay.
And it kind of worked, to be honest. But you cannot throw your army like that, because if you lose your tanks, you will have a hit.
Yeah, the tanks, Khala finding a couple 2 or 3 free tanks pretty much, because of the pathway of the map there, as well as preventing, you know, the move out even from Dandy just by posturing for a counter. So this is really well played so far from Khala. He's just getting better at the micro, like the exchanges, it seems. They were even on supply, and now Khala's up by 30. That was not being on more bases, right? This isn't macro. Dandy is macroing on par with Khala. Khala's just got phenomenal positioning and understanding of where and what he can attack.
So the carriers are very far away. Maybe this is the opportunity for Dandy to push and to kill some bases. Khala is buying some time, and maybe if he's wise. Oh, he lost a carrier to the turret? What? Okay. So he has to destroy that CC as fast as he can. He cannot fight the units in the open like that. Okay, so we have a battle. Oh, then this army got. So, you know, maybe Dandy can win this. Unless carriers are too strong. But if Dandy throws like 2 more expansions or something like that, Okay, that was close. If Dandy throws like 2 expansions, or 2 CCs or something like that, and he continues to macro, he has a lot of minerals. He should throw CCs around the map. No speed salad. I'm not a fan of Khala's position right now. Como estaba diciendo, me parece que la posición de Khala es bastante ventajosa, porque solo tiene carriers, su army de suelo cada vez está cayendo más, y si Dandy empieza a tirar expansiones, que todavía ahí recién acaba de empezar a hacer, podría ganar esta partida. Es más, hasta no la quiero quemar, como diríamos acá en Argentina, ¿no? Pero si Dandy hace un par de peleas bien, yo diría que podría ganar esta partida. O por lo menos tiene la ventaja ahora. Khala le faltan expansiones, se tienen que expandir y el macro de Dandy parece mejor. Aunque bueno, ahora está tirando los tanques por eso. Ok, acaba de tirar todo. Volvamos para atrás. Jeje, que no lo puedo creer. No te lo puedo creer. Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, Dandy was he was doing what he could, man, but those tanks just got a little caught out. I felt like Khala was moving him around the center of the map a little too much, right? I think Dandy was fine if he would just sit and like take a fourth and be okay with the position, but Khala was just being the master at moving him exactly where he wanted him to go.
Good night.
It's another good one. We keep getting cross map positions. I wonder if we'll get it like 3 times in a row here or whatever. We've pretty much just seen gate gas opener from Khala thus far. It'd be kind of... I take that back. Last game it was a gate nexus and then gas. I wonder if we'll ever see a 12 next though. I think it's such an underrated build, and honestly something I've seen Khala open with very often previously.
Qué salado, amigos. Son 5 partidos, Khala ganado 3-0. Así que estamos medio complicados. Dandy parece, por lo que me contaron por cucaracha, está un poco frustrado. Así que vamos a ver qué pasa con estas 2 partidas. Si puede levantar los ánimos y conseguir algunas victorias al menos. Igual el TR, amigos, les complica tanto a las 2 partes. No es que el Protoss no tiene lag y el TR sí. O sea, eso es un problema de servidor y es un problema que les afecta a todos. Hay que aprender a jugar con lag y sin lag. Esa es la verdad. So they are saying that Dandy is frustrated. So let's see what he can come up with.
He honestly, I don't see him playing frustrated, right? Like, well, usually when I think a player is playing frustrated, they take big risks, and I don't know, he's not throwing games for sure. All right.
No, it's not. Yep.
I'll do a quick intro here. So, top left, spawning as the olive Protoss, we have Khala. And from Peru, spawning at the top right as the brown Terran, we have Dandy.
I just want to say that I love how you said that color was olive. I would just say like mustard or yellow.
Or green or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
honestly,
sorry. I will move forward with my introduction, but I just want to say that.
Okay.
Entonces, arriba a la izquierda de color amarillo tenemos al Protoss surcoreano, tenemos a Khala. Mientras que arriba a la derecha tenemos al Terran del Perú, tenemos a Dandy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why you said yellow. I think green. Like I can't
Mustard.
really tear. It's kind of in between both of them. So like I get a little like stopped up on that color or whatever. I'm just like, wait, is it? What is it? I'll just call it olive because that's what it says. Like, yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I gotta say, usually when I think of players playing frustrated, that you throw out the double proxy racks in the middle, or you do like a two-fact versus Protoss. Dandy, he's playing all right, man, and he's showing every single one of these games that he can take it. Like that last game, he wasn't that far off from winning. And I'm genuinely saying that, not just because I called this to be a 3-2. Like really, Dandy does what the best of the best players do, time and time again. He's not the player who doesn't take every single game seriously, especially against a formidable opponent like Khala. I think he's gonna do it. I'm calling this as the one. It's not cross map. He's a little closer. He's been leaning into these earlier pushes, and they've almost been working. They're like right there, like one or two better tank shots, one better mine connecting, and he's gonna take one of them. So I think this might be the one, just given their positions.
Chris.
Once again,
I'm sensing a two fact.
Oh no, did I just? Yeah. Let's see. Is he still
When
mining?
when
He's
people
not.
when
He's
people
not two fact.
oh, okay. When people
Oh.
are frustrated, they tend to do two factories, two barracks. And,
I-
and we see two factories, it will be like very good.
I totally know what you're talking about. I hate that build, man. Like, I think two fact is just a garbage build in this matchup. If I'm being completely honest, it's just a garbage build. There's no room for it. And my eyes just burn when I watch Artosis' stream, and the percentage in which he two facts, it feels like he gets frustrated, two facts the next game. Oh, this doesn't work, two fact. And it's like, do you even want to beat a Protoss player? So here we go. Good control, just phenomenal control from Danny, pulling those Marines back perfectly, getting the 3 SCVs in. Khala wisely backing off because I think Danny was in a good position to crush that Zealot. Add-on being produced for Dandy here, but we also have another Marine in production. SCV scouting the early natural Nexus, and here we go. Boom, good damage being done to that Zealot immediately. Well, let's see if he mines the minerals, and he does. Pulls the SCVs through to keep them all alive. Meanwhile, doing a little bit of harass himself with his SCV and Khala's main. It's kind of funny. He was shooting a probe there for a second. 5 Marines starts making me think FD, right?
Yeah, not again, Dandy.
Yeah, I don't know. I never see FD work, really.
Yeah, you see when you go to that exam and you prepare like two things to talk about, and you already talk about one,
Yeah.
and you don't know what else to talk about. Okay,
so it's FD.
Yeah, so FD is the way to go.
Oh, that's such a good description.
But
You're
Mr.
out
Dan-
of things to talk about. You're like, oh, well, what about the FD?
Yeah, but Mr. Dandy, on Sylph it didn't work. Doesn't matter.
Also, he shows the Marines. Like, why
Yeah.
not just send 4 Marines down and keep the rest up at the top of the ramp? I don't know. But
There's no
Khala's,
secret between Dandy and his opponent.
he's just
It
the honorable Terran.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fair fight.
Okay, it would be a fair fight. I like that. Well, we have about 7 Marines in a tank walking up here. Already 2 Dragoons and a Zealot.
He made a mistake. He made a Zealot, not full Dragoon.
Well, I don't know. That's still a lot of Dragoon, right? They just got to be on a hold position. Ooh, good.
To be honest, he has less Dragoons than before, like way less.
That's the position. He did it cross map or whatever last time. This is a little closer this time.
No, it's Sylph. Sylph,
Oh, it was Sylphid. You're right.
Sylph, you arrive to the other people's base in 2 steps.
Yeah, I don't know. The more now that you said that, I'm not sure if I really like FD pushes either. Now, I don't. What was that supposed to do? It felt like I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe it was a thing once a while ago, but now I don't think it's a good bit. Like
I know there are some greedy Protoss that go like 3 Nexus off like 3 Dragoons or something, and I could see that being good against that, but I don't know. Yeah, it didn't feel right here.
Yeah, I think that this is the only way that that works is that the Protoss plays like super greedy, and that's just a gamble.
I mean, still, he saved the tank. He just committed the Marines and the Vultures. Actually,
Yeah.
this looks very scary for Dandy. I thought those 4 Dragoons were going to walk across the map and just end the game.
That would be like funny, right?
Sure. Funny, that'd be the word I'd use.
I would pay to have like a webcam on Dandy's home.
He would probably smash the webcam.
Yeah.
Oh man. Reaver once again, so Khala kind of going back to his old tricks here. We've got first obs out, kind of clearing some mines and backing up. I feel like Khala's almost moving like he's expecting a vulture run by, but it's not happening from Dandy. So yeah, probably for the best, right? Just you're already a little ahead. Just
It won't work. It won't work. Dandy, don't try it. Yeah, you're right. And he stays on his face.
yeah. 3 tank doesn't seem like enough at the moment.
The mythical 8-minute push. But a Reaver can make very good things happen.
Mine going down. Actually, not a bad surround here from
Very
Dandy.
good surround. Oh, but the Reaver arrives.
Yeah, the Reaver arrives, and that definitely will shut down the push. Although, he didn't lose a single tank, so just run. No, don't stay there, Dandy. You gotta recognize there was a Reaver. Just run. He was fine. You just can't lose these tanks. Oh, no. Okay, he does save him. But still, not bad trades as far as the Vulture versus Dragoon goes, I think.
No, I think he's desperate in making turrets and defending the Reaver on his base. He just ignored, left those tanks to die. Okay, you're on your own, and he goes back to his base.
Godspeed.
Building turrets, yeah. In Peru, we don't save anyone.
Oh my god, dude, that's the funniest shit I've ever heard. In Peru, we don't save anyone. That's good.
Yeah, you fail attack, you see on the battlefield to die.
With honor.
With honor, yeah.
Well, this is 6 factories out from Dandy. Once again, I think he's kind of defaulting to these heavy factory pushes off 2 base, but oh man, come on, are one of these mines gonna do anything? Oh, please,
no.
please, please!
No!
Yes!
Very good. Those moving cannons were like really good.
I mean, that's what you get for not pylon walling your 3rd completely. So
Yeah.
Dandy finally catching a freaking break, man, and getting some good damage on that 3rd. I mean, from not a good position either. Let's be honest. Like first 2 pushes were just completely stuffed, but Dandy finally going in there and making a play. So this is great. Ooh, although
Go Dandy, go Dandy.
2 shuttle timing.
Pato's waving the Peruvian flag.
This is potential big damage in the main here for Khala. 4 Zealots and 2 Reavers. Although we actually see some mines in the main and another Vulture counter once again. Uh-oh. So Dandy's starting to pull those SCVs. Big shots going off from these Reavers though. Turrets being targeted by all Zealots to allow the retreat of these 2 Reavers. I like it from Khala. And SCVs being pulled the wrong way there.
No! Okay, he...
Yeah, Scarabs are so smart.
Yeah.
I feel like he didn't lose a ton of SCVs.
No,
So, not the most damage here from Dandy, but we also don't see any Goliaths. And I mean, Reavers they'll eat Vultures. So he can't just keep trading these. But we also see that Vulture counter from Dandy did some significant damage as well. There's not many probes left at the mineral only for Khala. It looks like he should definitely transfer some to that mineral only. SCV count being built back up in the main. Ooh, good catch on that shuttle drop going into the main. 2 Reavers dropping in the center. Here comes a Storm drop. Oh my gosh, 3 Templars already.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's big damage. Shuttle might be able to get out. It'll be close. Yeah, gets out, but no more Storm left on that Templar. And suddenly, in an instant, Khala up by double the supply almost.
Yeah, just imagine dropping 2 units and losing all your workers in 1 second. So, yeah, I think Dandy has to push, but...
Yeah, they don't do that in the Zerg matchup. Like,
No.
yeah, I was laughing. I was like, oh man, I definitely lose more drones than that on a regular basis. Like my superpower. Good Reaver harass, picking off a stray tank. This almost reminds me of like Muta control versus Terran. Like he's just staying at the back with these 2 Reavers, getting anything that's unsieged. Oh man.
No!
Oh, good targeting there from Dandy. Does take out the Reaver. I like this wall off in this positioning here for Dandy. We need to see a lot more mines being spread out though.
Yeah, he could make it. I don't see if Khala has enough units, to be honest. No, he doesn't have.
And the Zealots are slow.
Yeah, he spent too much on doing those drops. So maybe Dandy has like a little opportunity. Oh, so smart.
Oh, the Vultures are caught.
What?
Oh, no. He trapped himself in this siege. And all of the tanks falling for Dandy.
And that Reaver. That is way better than a cannon.
Like a super cannon.
Yeah.
Imagine if cannons had splash damage. Man, Zerg would
Yeah,
be
it would be
rude.
funny. GG.
GG.
So it would be funny that Dandy would put GG and then he would lose Khala would lose all his pros in that mine. No, come back, you still have a chance.
that would actually be pretty funny. I'm sure that's probably had to happen before or something like that. Oh man. Go for it, Pato. Pick it. Where should we go?
Ascension.
Also, kind of a tough map for Terran a little bit, right? You think it's alright? Do you prefer it?
Nah, it's not a good map for Terran, but what the hell. The map won't matter.
Yeah.
Stop fooling ourselves.
Yeah, I guess so. Hawk's ready to throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Like,
it was Pato. It was.
It's a really that high ground, defending your third from that high ground, it can be really tough, I think. But all right, here we go. Ascension Game 5, spawning at the 12 o'clock. As the Teal Protoss, we have Khala. And spawning at the bottom right as the brown Terran, we have Dandy.
Y en el último match de esta serie tenemos arriba a las 12 en punto a nuestros protos de Corea del Sur, tenemos a Khala. Mientras que en la parte inferior derecha tenemos al representante del Perú, a nuestro héroe y a nuestro querido Dan.
I'm actually gonna go grab some dinner real quick. I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Be right back.
Okay, then this is awkward. Okay,
Just
I
me
guess
and you,
it's fine.
Pato.
Yeah, I can guess in Spanish if you want.
No, that's cool. We're chilling. I got my mic on. I'm gonna be checking your anti-Protoss casting.
Just to mute my hate and speech comments.
Khala's doing more than clicking right now, Pato. He's thinking.
Yeah, 200 ATM. He's like ordering Chinese food while he's playing. Yeah, 12 Nexus when machine goes away. I knew it.
Is he?
Yep. 11 Nexus.
I mean, 12
Not even-
Nexus is when you need like an edge, right? But if you're really good, do you need 12 Nexus?
You always need 12 Nexus. Why throw away a good advantage?
But when you're Khala playing a foreigner,
Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder if he could just one base and win.
He could.
Like his micro is exceptionally good too.
But
Or-
tier 12, it's
Left clicking.
difficult to micro. Yeah. So. Yeah, so it's one. I thinking that Khala doesn't make 12 Nexus anymore. He makes like one pylon gateway Nexus.
Does Dandy ever complain against Protoss when you like watch his stream?
I don't think he complains. He complains about lag. He doesn't complain about matches.
Like I follow his stream, but it's all in Spanish, right? So I don't really understand his personality. I just know that he has fun, like a lot of joking.
Yeah, he jokes a lot. No, not Sarah and Andy don't complain, to be honest.
Yeah, I know Terra for sure is super chill.
Yeah, they don't show complain. They just Dandy complains about motivation or lag or something like that, but not about the game itself. So it's a good thing, I think.
It is. It's really refreshing to see that. You know, I get that it's like people complaining about races is like, oh, it can be kind of funny at times and like niche, but yeah, I don't know. Like I respect players more when they don't, I guess.
And I mean, Dandy's S rank with all the races, right, Pato?
Yeah, Dandy's a very skillful player.
The last cast I was a part of, Dandy, swear to God, almost beat DeWalt in a straight up Zerg vs Terran. Like, had the game a little bit. If he, you know, I'm sure it was nerves or something, but I was so shocked at the level of his Zerg.
Oh, the Star Pro
Yeah, his Zerg
on
Protoss.
Eclipse.
Yeah, unbelievable how good he was.
His Zerg
Yeah.
versus Scan, I think it was on Polypoid. ZVP was pretty good. He went all Hydras. He almost won that.
Huh. Yeah, man. I mean, if he ever wants to retire as a Terran player, I think he, you know, would make a great Zerg player too.
Yeah,
Is
he's
this
very
FB
good.
again?
Yeah, he's very good with all races, to be honest. He has very good PPT as well. He has good
He used to
game
PPT,
knowledge.
right?
Yeah, he has good game knowledge. So, and he knows how to micro. He understands the game.
I've heard people say if you're like S rank with all the races, then it makes your stronger race even better. But is that true? Because there are people who don't have S rank with all the races, but they still have a super strong main race, right?
Yeah.
What do you guys think about that argument?
I mean, I don't think it would ever hurt. I'll say that. It would never hurt to be S rank with all the races. Like, it's not going to make you a worse Zerg player to be a better Terran player and vice versa. I think if anything, you maybe understand the intricacies of the other races a little more. but you very much can just study a matchup from a specific race and still be a phenomenal player. There are plenty of pros who have, off races that aren't nearly at the same level. But I think it would help to have better off races for sure.
It always help, but I don't know how much does it help.
Because you're really just kind of comparing time investment at some point, and the majority of what's going to help you going into a major tournament like a lot of these players, or show match like these players are playing in, is the amount of time you're specifically playing like your race or
Right.
specifically a matchup. So
Like I've heard people say, like ZVP, say you're really good with Protoss too. That gives you some sort of insight into the mining Protoss. But I'm thinking, as Zerg, you already know what the fuck Protoss is going to be doing all the time, right? Because you play ZVP,
Yeah.
so you don't really need to play Protoss to know what kind of
it-
shenanigans they're up to.
I think that Ian Zerg did like that Protoss challenge where he tried to get S rank,
S
but
rank
he,
with Protoss.
yeah, but he couldn't. And I think Koget managed to get S rank in all races. And I don't know.
He did.
I think that I think that Ian is a better player than Koget, for example. And it doesn't
Yeah, that's a good
matter.
example.
Koget is a very good player. He knows a lot about the game. He has excellent micro and all the package, but I don't know. Yeah. But Ian couldn't get S rank with Protoss, and I think his Zerg is better than any race that Koget could play.
Now, I'll tell you, spending too much time playing an off race can hurt you. And actually, that example you said let's talk about the game, I guess. A lot of DTs moving in here for Khala. 2, defending the natural. 2, attacking. And yeah, Andy not having
Hehe. Yeah, and Shun, and Hehe. Shun, Hehe, Shun.
5-0 for Khala there, making pretty quick work of Dandy. Jeez. But yeah, back to that example. Koget just switched races, right? He went from Terran to Zerg, like not that long ago, like 5-6 months ago, I want to say. So obviously, when you make an adjustment like that, you've spent way more time playing Terran than Zerg. You're not carrying over a lot of the wisdom you've incurred from many years of playing too. So it's not always an advantage to pick your off race, but you understand the game a little better.
Koget played in his career the 3 races. I think he started with Protoss, then he was Zerg, then he switched to Terran, and now he came back to Zerg, if I'm not mistaken. And he's a very smart and skilled guy. But still, I don't think that tool of playing every race helped him to be better as a Terran player in his time or as a Zerg now. I think there's no direct relation with playing all the races S rank with being a better player. I think it's interesting, it's good for the show, but it not necessarily gives you a better edge.
I think at a certain level, and I'm not just talking S rank, obviously, that pro players are good enough to get S rank with all races, right? Like Larva could play anything with his feet and get S rank. Like that's what's kind of crazy, is there's levels like that to this game where the best of the best are so incredibly far beyond anything the rest of us will ever get to, that simply selecting a race is just like, it's like nothing to them almost. I don't know.
Do we have an interview now?
I don't know.
Because we have our man Dandy on the channel.
Oh, we got Dandy in the channel.
Oh,
cool.
okay.
Dope.
Okay.
He's tuning in for his buddy, man. He's got Terror versus Hawk next.
It's not creepy at all. We have a Peruvian guy just sitting without saying anything and hearing us.
I mean, the cool
Just
thing
sitting
about
there.
these events is he gets to benefit from it on his own stream, too, right?
Cool.
So,
That is nice, actually. Yeah, he's
Cool.
it's cool to have a full-time streaming Brood War player who's being supported by a streaming platform. Trovo's really good, guys. If we can get a
Yeah,
lot of like North American and European viewers to tune into Trovo channels, then it's possible for full-time Brood War streamers. Right now, only Latin Americans I think can pull it off because they have such a huge viewership. And those viewers, big shout out to them. They're really supportive, right, Pato? You know, they tune into
Yeah.
Trovo, Facebook, wherever, just to support people. They,
they're super fans.
sign into Matcherinos and click on coupon codes. Like, I can't get Europeans or North Americans to do that stuff at all, which is all cool. But like, I've seen Latin Americans just go out of their way. That's cool. There he is.
Ooh, Terror. Terror Hawk, man. This is a matchup for the ages right now. I think they're very closely, close in skill level. So this is going to go 2-3, one way or the other. But also, Terror, who I would consider the favorite, and still would consider the favorite, lost the last series. So we know he's coming in full head of steam, man. He wants this one. He can beat Hawk, and he wants to prove it to everybody. Meanwhile, Hawk, probably like the NA underdog, but still a pretty formidable player in his own right. I love his Zerg vs Terran. He's such a cerebral player. Like I've watched him countless times on his stream. He's done, the F to S rank or whatever streams. He's really one of the most vocal Zergs at really explaining why he picks his builds, what he's seeing, how it's making him adjust, and he's like really just a great educational tool for foreign Zergs. And such a fucking cool dude on top of it all. So I always gotta cheer for him, man. I want Hawk to take this one. Okay. I want Revolver game 1. Revolver. That's gonna be a good one. I like this map, and I'm gonna be a little biased. I think Hawk likes this map.
Some people are complaining about it in the BSL Discord, and I didn't realize that there was, some people who didn't like this map. I think they got it out of the map pool, right? Revolver was in there, but they switched it out with something else.
Did they? Did they?
I might be wrong.
You could be right. I maybe couldn't be. I find it a little tough against Protoss sometimes, honestly, just because so many chokes, so many ramps, so many high grounds to break up. It can be difficult, but it still plays for longer games, which I just enjoy playing and watching more of. So here we go, spawning top left on Revolver as that red Zerg from North America. It is Hawk. And spawning at the bottom right as that magenta Terran from Peru, representing, it is Terror.
Arriba a la izquierda tenemos al Zar norteamericano de color rojo, tenemos a Hawk. Mientras que abajo de color rosado tenemos a representante del Perú, tenemos a Terror.
Okay. At least game 1, I think it's worth, for sure. I kind of like it when he introduces in Spanish. Get that Antonio Banderas flair in there.
Seducción.
Seducción. Seducción.
Seducción. Forome.
I couldn't have, asked for a better start here. I love that they're cross map, big distance. Revolver is such a big map, but more importantly for this matchup, every single base has a gas, which is useful to, I'd say more to Zerg than Terran, given this matchup in particular. There's also a ramp leading to the natural, which is unusual. It's like an unusual characteristic for the majority of maps, like a low ground to high ground ramp, which makes attacking with bio a little tricky. You either got to move around, so things like stim timings are a lot weaker here.
Anyway, 13 CC? What?
Smart. I love it. This is playing to the map, man. And Terra is a smart player, and he showed it time and time again. What are you going to do here? Are you going to BBS up a ramp? No. It's like because that ramp leading to the natural makes it so easy to defend your natural. The only answer is to play as greedy as possible. And I mean, Hawk is doing a pretty standard opener here, but Terror knows, like, this is, if I'm going to take a risk one way or the other, this is the way the risk needs to go. And he's going to be paid off here. He's cross map. There is no way any Zerglings are making it across that map and going to be able to do any damage whatsoever up a ramp into a natural. And vice versa. Like, if Hawk was being attacked and there was a 8 racks or, you know, something like along those lines right now, he would defend it as well. So I think this is a great call from Terror. Whoa, that drone is slapping, man. He's just doing... Already forced one SCV to leave. He's scouting, sees 3 SCVs at the natural. I think that's maybe a bunker being built next to the command center. And yeah, with 6 lings across the map, bunker already down, this is going to do no damage. And Terror is going to get away with this early command center. Terror scouting the main. The, you know, what do you expect to see? A lair? No drones? No drones at the natural? No drones? What? This isn't Hawk. He has to do damage here, and does pick off an SCV, so it's kind of paying off a little bit. What? I'm a little surprised that the drone count is so low here. Once he scouted that bunker producing, it's really difficult to get any damage done. And yes, Terror blocking that back pathway with a depot, and another Zergling lost here for Hawk. He's not going to get any payment for all of these Zerglings he's been forced to make. Spire down in the main for Hawk. Meanwhile, Terror just spamming SCVs, man. Oh, another SCV does fall. That's a little surprising to me. I feel like Terror's got so many Marines, he should just collapse on top of these Zerglings. And yeah, another SCV going down. The round coming in from Hawk. And getting 1 Marine, 2 Marines, but still, I feel like Terror's in a fine position. That was Hawk just getting a little, you know, unfortunate series of opener and making the most of it. Engineering bay down inside the main. Also a creep colony being morphed at the natural. Kind of indicates Hawk's not looking to make any more lings here until Muta. This will be at least a 4 racks opener cross map from Terror. Stim is being produced as well from the Academy. But he's got to know Hawk's probably going to be producing mutas here really quickly. Marines moving into the natural, see the sunken, and wisely choose to go home. Might be a 3rd base, mid-right here from Hawk. It's usually not very common in this matchup to take a natural expansion as your 3rd, and you would almost always want to take the base in the main. But this map is one of the few exceptions where it's, because there is a ramp leading into that base, it's slightly easier to hold. Five Mutalisks moving out here for Hawk. 6-1 shortly behind, and yes, he's taking the top right natural as his 3rd base. Meanwhile, turrets well on their way, already completed some of them for Terror. Bunker has been, you know, filled as well. So it's going to be a little difficult here for Hawk to find any kind of damage early on. I mean, this just feels like what happens when you get away with a command center first, honestly. Terra's econ is just skyrocketing. He can afford these extra turrets and things. And pretty soon he's going to have a giant swell of bio that's going to be very difficult for Hawk to deal with. Scans going out on the map. Marine will scout the third from Hawk, and now suddenly Terra's got a point to push to, really. Queen's Nest down inside the main for Hawk, indicating he's looking to get to a fairly quick hive. Gas at the third, although there's no drones there yet. Terra producing a starport inside the main, likely followed by the pretty standard science facility to start getting some vessels out. And I feel like a little bit like Terra's maybe missing a window. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but I don't see what Hawk could do with so many turrets if Terra just opted to push with all of his Bioforce top right. But I don't know. Maybe that's me, not seeing something on the map. But either way, he'll be fine. Terra can also just sit here too. Second starport down inside the main. Ooh, 2 Hydralisks at the third, but still not a lot of drones at the third for Hawk. He really feels uncomfortable getting away with any kind of early econ. Still a lot of Mutalisks being produced as well. No Evo chamber that I can see would be for that early ground armor, which is very necessary for Zerg in this matchup. It's tough when you're just so low on drones, honestly. And yes, the lurkers are perfectly timed. Terra will not be able to harass this. Hawk's got to find some free Marines, though, with these Muta. Terra still pushing across, looking to put a little bit of pressure on the natural of Hawk. But I assume Hawk probably has some lurkers there. Okay, they're morphing, so Hawk just looks to really be timing things out as well as he can. Defiler mound inside the main as well as the first Evo chamber.
So the downside about going 13cc is that if you don't win this game with all the advantage that you get, you will feel like really bad on the second game if you try a standard with Orda.
That is a disadvantage, I guess. Yeah, like, oh, I totally should have won this one. Yeah, I mean, he's in a phenomenal position still, right? He's 25 supply up or whatever. First vessels are out. Hawk is just not, he hasn't really been able to drone that third very hard just because, of all the pressure, really, that Terror kind of put on by sitting there. Ooh, first 2 vessels out. Probably with Irradiate, looking for their first kills of the game. And yeah, it looks like Terra's just content to sit and take his third at the moment, and I don't blame him. Like, what can he really do? Defiler is out, though, for Hawk. He's just gotta find a way to sneak some drones in to start coming back in this one, or Terra's just gonna start running away with his econ, I think. Ooh, I like how he's stacking all of the lurkers of the third on one spot, so that it's very difficult for Terran to really be able to tell exactly how many are there, as well as you can't irradiate more than one. Ooh, big irradiate's going down. And yes, it looks like a few of these Muta will fall. Terra just popping back and forth. know, just
Yeah.
when Hawk thinks he's attacking the third, he's going to the natural, and vice versa. It's such high level play, such high level like unit control from Terror, and he never stops. He never stops moving somewhere. Really crazy.
Well, Hawk just has to defend, and he has his force gas and can pump some ultras.
Look at this double drop in the main. He was clearing the Overlord so he could get away with the scout, but Hawk knows somehow and has a Defiler and a couple lurkers in the main as well. Oh no, no consume though. Or, oh shucks. These lurkers are all, that Defiler unfortunately blocking those lurkers. And,
Yeah, that was late.
Yeah, shoot. This is going to be big damage here from Terror. Fool will be killed. It seems like he at least got a swarm down, so, you know, he's not going to lose the base by any means, but this was really painful.
I'm surprised that there wasn't any scourges.
Yeah, he's just been, like, pulled so tight this game, you know, that he just doesn't even have the larva, it feels like, for the Scourges. Everything's got to be drones to catch up with this econ that Terror has. Alright, 108 going down there on those lurkers. And yeah, he's just going to do the same thing here, top right, double drop. We do have at least have 3 lurkers in the main.
Maybe he needs defensive matrix on the...
Oh, oh, I guess that was 2 different irradiates. Dude, this is just so much pressure from Terror. It's really hard to deal with. Yep, still no Scourge. Defiler and Ultras moving through. Oh man, he's just gonna irradiate that Defiler, no? Yep, radiate going in. Now there's probably an opening top right for the dropship.
Yeah, he moved us.
Oh, okay, but they're going into the main. Hawk wisely adjusted to top right. Ooh, first two battle cruisers even out here for Terror, so they're gonna start moving across the map. Finally, some Scourge on the map. But Terror kind of adjusting, looking to pick off these Scourge if he can. One Ultra falling. Does get a vessel. Double drop inside the main. And, ooh, that gets cleaned up very nicely. Oh, but not before it looks like the Ultra Cavern was picked up. And the Evo Chamber. Dude, okay. So that's actually really good damage here with Terror. BC picking off that Defiler. Oh, nope. He's wiggling away. Gets the consume. Maybe that's enough for a play? Nope. There's a cloud there. Terror moving in. There's Dark Swarm once again. So I don't know if he can really move in too much with the bow. Oh, a lot of Muta Force moving in here, getting on top of these BCs and clearing them. Not bad, man. He's still fighting. Third base for Terror has been down for quite some time though, probably looking to take a fourth here shortly. And this Bioforce has just been a menace, man. It's moving back and forth, left to right, top, bottom, and he's just getting the most out of his units. He's doing what he can to really spread Hawk thin. Big irradiates going down here. All these vessels, I would expect Terra's probably going to wait for them to die and then move in with this Bioforce. Hawk repositioning some units into the main. Here we go. Marines moving in, starting to attack the Ultra. But it looks like he's there just in time with the Defiler. Ooh, nice double swarm. Bioforce will get picked up and be able to retreat. Hawk is moving up in supply. He's got 4 gas now. I feel like it's kind of somehow tilting for Hawk a little bit. Only 3 vessels in play. Double spore at the 3rd for Hawk. I really like that. And yeah, looking to even take his 5th. With a double drop in the main, though. That's a little scary. Oh, Force Gorge and Leaders come in here. Oh no, but 4 Marines and a medic make it into the main. Oh, they're going to target down the Ultra Cavern. More BCs moving in here at the 3rd. Come on, Hawk. You're so close, man. It looks like he's gonna move across here with his Ultra Lurker Defiler Force. I should have plagued. Still no plague. I'm a little surprised. The Dark Swarm is definitely working though against the Bio. This Ultra Force kind of runs over this Bio group. Very nice. Final BC does fall, but there are still 3 vessels left. Terror is banking around 2,000 gas. Got a 4th command center, but actually Hawk not too far behind. 2,500 minerals, 1,500 gas. And he's got those speed ultras on the map. The big boys, they're moving around. Ooh, nice lurker with the ultra, but they target the wrong Marine, unfortunately. And this force will fall.
Yeah, it seems like the Hawk spent all his money on ultras, so he was banking a lot of money as well, but I think now they are pretty much even.
Yeah, they're getting kind of evenish. Man, we haven't seen a single plague, right? This whole game? Yeah, I've just kind of been waiting for it. Because these are very plaguable. I mean, I guess he did pick off the Defiler Mound once, right? That's probably why this is just thrown off so often. Yeah, I feel like Hawk could really benefit from a few plagues and just controlling this mass bio. Ooh.
No. No.
That's very Unterra-like to leave all his vessels out in the middle, huh?
Well,
here we go.
20 minutes of the game.
That's true, that's true.
I think it's very hard.
It is. I mean, it's so difficult. Hawk losing a few ultras for free there. Moving around with a counter force to delay this 4th, though. Actually, we'll see if Hawk even knows about it. Oh, the Defiler walking with the bio there is kind of funny.
There.
Defiler does go down. Yeah, this counter is going to do nothing here for Hawk. Meanwhile, a lot of BCs, but no air armor for Hawk, and suddenly the BCs are going to be able to turn the tide here, I think. Oh, that's a lot of force. Still, he's not mining the gas at the 3rd. He doesn't have many drones left at the 3rd, thanks to those BCs. That was a good amount of damage.
Well, he's thrown a 5th and a 6th base there, so...
Yeah, if he's able to hang on to those, no doubt, Zerg can get quite scary off 6 gas.
Antara money just went down. I think he's mined out from his natural and main, so he needs to throw more CCs in order to stay in the game. And that also mean that if that base on the lower left is attacked, he will suffer a lot.
So, at some point, do you transition out of bio if you're Terror?
I think if you transition before. Or you take another main and you start building tanks there.
Factories, yeah. That's
Yeah,
kind of what I'm thinking.
like if you have like 20 tanks, then you just unsiege them and add them to your main
Mines too,
army.
especially
Yeah,
against so much ultra, because like it's no question like late game 3-3 bio versus 5-3 ultra 3-3 ling defiler plague.
yeah. The
It's so
problem,
tough.
yeah, the problem is the mobility. Sir can attack easier many spots at a time. If you don't make damage with battle cruiser drops before, I think in this stage of the game playing late SK Terran is really difficult unless you are a godly Korean.
Or terror, man. Terror just making this Bioforce look easy. There was no Dark Swarm. We do have 2 more swarms going down. He's got to get Plague, man. Plague is so good against these big Bioforces.
Yeah, one play and this is all dead. Those purchase one special glove there. Okay, that's one.
Suddenly, Hawk supply just kind of plummeting. BC's moving into the 6th phase of Hawk. And it looks like they're finding some traction, doing a little bit of damage here.
Yeah, looking good for Terror. Hawk's minerals are really low. So he has to make this last group of units worth. If not, Terror will take this home. There are a lot of Marines, PCs, and there's not enough gas now for Hawk to be able to contest his army. So he's going to do a counter attack, but we're going to see if this is enough.
Yeah,
So
we're gonna
Terror
have to see.
spotted. Yeah, Terror spotted this attack. He's irradiating the Ultra. And I think this is it. Terror will take this home.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it. He's able to kill off both those bases, reduce that gas count, and I mean, Hawk making it one hell of a game, but it doesn't seem to quite be enough.
Hawk seemed like to struggle a lot with his economy. He didn't build enough drones in the early game and played from behind. Played from behind almost all the match.
I mean, it was CC first opener versus, you know, like standard cross map, and then he made a lot of lings versus drones. So yeah, he's got to be a little frustrated just based on how the openers went for sure.
Even though he was in his disadvantage, I think he managed to pull a really good game. And it really was hard for Terror to be able to win this game. So I'm not sure if you see it that way. I think I would be confident heading on the next match.
I see it the exact same way, and GG is called from Hawk. Yeah, it was a little bit of an unfavorable opener, let's say, for Hawk there, and he still made it a 25-minute ZVT. So if that's any indicator, man, we're in for some really good matches tonight between these two. And starting with game 1, Terror taking it, man. He just put on the pressure. I mean, really just his movement back and forth constantly between the third, back to the natural, clearing an overlord so he could drop the main, then drop in top right. Like, it was just back and forth, and he never let up. It looked really frustrating to deal with, honestly. Thank you. I just got lucky with the cross map, but honestly, I think any 4-player map between these two we're gonna have some incredible games. All right, Hawk calling out that he wants Eclipse for game 2. Definitely not a 4-player map, 2-player map. You know, he picks it quite often. and it's funny because it is just definitely not one of my favorite maps, and certainly wouldn't be my first pick in a series. So it's just kind of funny, like that this game works out like that. That you can have two players that play the same race, and they have completely different styles, completely different whatever like just abilities. And Hawk choosing a map like this, that's some confidence, especially in this matchup. It's very, in my opinion, it's harder to hold a fourth on this map than it is on.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick Eclipse as well. I think this is not a good map for CBT.
Yeah, yeah. I cut out there for a second. My bad.
I don't know. Maybe he wants to get rid of the hard maps at the beginning.
Maybe it's good for Muta. I don't know. All right, spawning here, top right as the Magenta Terran on Eclipse, currently up 1-0 from Peru. It is Terror. And spawning bottom left, this was his map choice, the North American Hope, the Red Zerg. We have Hawk. Go USA!
I wish Peru
USA
has
number one.
I wish Peru had like 3 letters. Country was a three more longer name to say like Peru. It's like very short.
Peru.
Peru.
USA.
Hey. So this map is pretty much always the same. It's always a wall for Terran to go +1.
Yeah, you see this wall a lot, and why not, right? Full wall-offs are just so difficult for. Yeah, I mean Zerg just can't get any type of ling pressure through quick pool play. So it really kind of forces Zerg to play a little more one-dimensional, unless you're just hoping for some luck or something like that. So I don't know why he picks it. Also, the cool thing here I want to point out is Terra is blocking this natural because he knows that it's a two-player map. This is something you don't see a lot of Zergs do, or Terran do rather, excuse me. But it is, I could tell you, like, Hawk has like smoke coming out of his ears right now. You never like getting your natural expansion blocked by an eBay. It's like just so tilting,
It's like
especially in a series.
looking through his window, screaming Peru.
I mean, it's just delayed larva. He hasn't really been able to scout
He's,
well.
yeah, 100%.
I don't know how you
Fast
recover.
gas. Are we going to see like a 1-1-1? Oh, Terror, you sneaky.
He did. Yeah, he got gas before pool.
Oh.
It's kind of indicating he's trying to be a little greedy with this. Like, more gas, more muta timing. Like, muta, there's like more potential for muta timings, basically.
Sneaky.
Muta timing actually works alright versus 1-1-1 build, so suddenly I kind of think Hawk might be okay here. Oh, and this is a proxy fact. I said it before this match ever started, but Terror just, more than any other Terran, switches his builds every game. He has so many different openers, and he uses all of them. You'll never see him do the same build 3 times in a row in a series. And I think it makes him so scary. Hawk here is already tilted, wasn't really able to scout, didn't even send a drone across the map, just the 2 overlords. So he has no idea what he's up against. Got his natural blocked. And there's a proxy factory out on the map. I mean, he would have to put down a sunken like now, or like really soonish, to be able to deal with this. Is that a starport too?
Yeah,
Second
he would try to make a Wraith or Vulture drop or something like that, but versus two hatch Muta, I don't know if that's a good idea.
It's proxy 2-fact. That's not a starport.
What?
Yeah, I'm really surprised as well. It's mass ling from Hawk? How? What? Based on what? What are we? What is going on here? We got a Vulture going into the main here for Hawk. Complete wall off. It's only 3 Marines though. I mean, Hawk might actually just be able to tear through this. Yeah, I actually suddenly think Hawk wins. I mean, he's got the proxy factories to deal with, but he's just got to get one sunken down somewhere. He doesn't even need to mine gas anymore. This is crazy. All the SCVs dropping inside the main here for Terror. He will get a sunken down at the natural. So, I don't know. It takes like infinite vultures to kill a sunken. Cancel your spire! You should probably just cancel the spire right now. Oh, come on. You can't kill a command center. They lift. There we go. We're doing this, man. The 1 Muta timing.
Yeah, one
Hawk.
Muta. The 3 Mutas that wins the game.
Yeah, Hawk wins. You can't shoot up with vultures. It's the one thing they can't do. Oh, he's got 2 Goliaths. That's so funny. Oh my gosh, could you imagine? Here we go, Goliath being targeted down.
Yeah, terror.
Oh,
No,
he's got a he's targeting the other Goliath now. He knows. He's got to know what's up here. And Muta are out.
Oh, terror.
Ling's coming in as well. And suddenly we have, yeah, 3 Muta, 194 recess sources still left for Hawk. And yeah, I mean, Terra's got a stuck Goliath, 2 stuck Goliaths. It's like one of those UMS micro maps now. Like, can you beat 2 Goliaths with 3 Muta and 4 Lings? Ooh. Goliaths are countering, but so is Hawk. This is so weird. Oh, he's gonna lose that Overlord. He'll suddenly be supply blocked. He's got to just make like 4 more Lings and he'll lose. He did it. He just got the last 50. So he's actually pulling back, and I think those are going to be 4 Lings in the main. So there's going to be 8 Lings and 2 Muta versus 2 Goliath. Here we go. Oh, it's 3 Muta.
GG, well played.
Whoa. What a crafty game from both players. GG is called, but Hawk on the board. It is 1-1. That was kind of odd. You don't see proxy 2-fact very often. I see proxy 1-fact into like 2-port Wraith or, you know, something else, but you know, it looked like Terror was really just trying to do a little bit of gambling, and it paid off for Hawk that time. I guess Hawk kind of gambled too with the Ling timing and not scouting, though. That was weird.
Yeah, that was strange.
Let's. Yeah, Ascension's good. Let's go with Ascension. I think it's pretty balanced. Yeah, it's pretty balanced. go. Game 3. Spawning at the 12 o'clock position. Once again, as a magenta Terran from Peru. It is Terror. And spawning at the bottom right as the red Zerg, we have Hawk.
Yeah, this is a map that I liked. Light played versus Hero on this map, and he made like a really cool mech build order.
I wonder why mech would be better on this map. I think holding those high grounds above the thirds are very key. Maybe mech's just able to do it a little easier.
Well,
or something like that?
mech without the mech with double armoring. He didn't make like 5 factories all in.
Got you. He's just kind of turtled and took the map. Okay. That's pretty interesting. I wonder how that's gonna go here. Like
the guy who made Sylphid, Largo, Eclipse made this map.
Okay.
He also made, there's a map called Vermeer. Have you guys heard of Vermeer?
No.
I think I
map
have.
in ASL.
Yeah, it's like the replacement to Largo, I think.
You know what's interesting about it? If I'm not mistaken, AMD, the company, had sponsored an event where Latius, the maker of this map, worked with some pro gamers.
Okay.
Not what their names are. And what they did was give him advice on how to make a map. And I think central to their like collaboration was how much like mineral and gas there's supposed to be. And one thing they were trying to do, I think, is balance. I hope I'm not wrong about this. ZVP, is that like a race matchup that's kind of broken?
On some maps, definitely.
I think that was one of their goals with that map, so that's what makes it really interesting. They might have like provided input on like terrain levels and all that shit, but the mineral and gas counts are different on that map than you find most other maps.
Well, Gaemo beat it snow, right?
What was that?
Gaemo beat it snow on ASL.
Oh, okay. Gameo? Yeah. I got you.
I don't know how you say it.
Yeah, it can be that matchup. I want to say it can be very Zerg favored depending on the map. It was kind of like I was saying earlier when you asked me, "Oh, do you think any matchup is like, you know, or Zerg is weak?" It's like no, like unquestionably, at the highest level, Zergs are consistently stomping Protosses and making it look broken. Like Soma, I think it was like ASL season 9 or 10, just dismantled every Protoss he went up against.
And it's just not because of Muta, right? They also do that with Hydralisk?
Yeah, Hydralisk, what he was doing was 2 hatch openers even, which you never see against Protoss. And he still just made it look broken. Like, he was just going 2 hatch Muta or 2 hatch Lurker and like killing Protosses with that very easily. Yeah, even I think he didn't hit many actually, but he hit like Bisu and some other noticeable, like very recognizable Protosses, and yeah, he just made it look silly. Not Bisu, it was like Rain or something like that. No, it fluctuates. I'd say it's more of a recent thing, actually. Like the last few seasons, Zerg has definitely showed like they're very strong in that matchup.
And I know we make deductions from it, like about the race matchup, but it's possible, maybe I'm totally wrong about this, that it's just the players that are playing that race really well, right?
No, it's a race.
Or is it come down to actual race matchup?
I mean,
it could be, you know, correlation.
Every correlation is like statistics, and you know, like I feel like statistically, even if you're not talking about one specific player, Zerg is strong in that matchup. It's not like only Larva is winning ZVP. There's plenty of them. You know, like Sulky, Queen, Larva. Yeah, I mean, there's always that argument, but I don't know. It's hard to say. Let's say that. Two wraiths moving in, getting the first Overlord. Going to scout that the spire is not complete, but there's Burrow already researched. I love this from Hawk. That's so difficult to make this call. But actually, this Burrow is going to end up saving all of his drones, it looks like. Yeah, these two vultures running by into the main too. I mean, there's obviously no scan, but Terra's been able to do a significant amount of damage here, picking off quite a few overlords, getting into the main, preventing all of this mining. This is really well played from Terror, but still, now that we have Muta on the field, this will swing. Two-port Wraith, usually when players think of it, they think of it as being a little gimmicky, and that's for good reason. It's there's no robustness to it. There's no real meat and potatoes behind a two-port Wraith opener. It can do a lot of damage, and if you catch the Zerg out in bad positions, it's got the potential to, you know, be able to create a game like this. But Hawk is a very strong player. He's smart enough to recognize this and know that he's just got to hang on here. He's got to prevent as much damage as possible from these wraiths, because the longer this game goes, the better it is for him. Wraiths cloaking, moving into the main. These are speed overlords already. Drones are going to start to get picked off. Oh, but Hawk is all over him with these Muta, doing a good amount of damage so far. Ooh. Overlords chasing into those wraiths, and they wisely back off. So a little bit of damage here for Terror, but not significant, I'd say. And kind of like I was saying, the further this game goes, this is gonna slowly start to get a little worse off here for our Peruvian Terran.
Yeah, unless you are a micro god, I think that it's pretty much. I don't want to use the word impossible, but it's really hard to transition. So.
Yeah, and you're pretty much only able to transition to bio. You know, you got to get vessels a little later. It's difficult for sure. But ooh, one Scourge being thrown away here. Hawk trying to move in and get on top of all of these wraiths. Taking some good damage from the turrets and losing an Overlord. Okay, Hawk going back in, trying to get some more kills. Oh, another Scourge connects. So it's kind of evening up here a little bit. I don't know. I think it was kind of just well played by both there.
Still.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, you cannot lose the fight. But I mean, you could almost argue the same for Terran. There's almost no bio behind this. If, you know, there are turrets, obviously, but once the wraiths fall, there's not a whole lot really behind this. And they are slowly falling. Hawk even having a third up already. And we only have a main and no natural yet for Terror. So I think Hawk kind of starting to turn this one already.
Clock. Well, you can only make rights if it is TR24 low or something like that, because I know Raid had a slightly more range than Mutas. Like, if you micro them correctly, you can beat Mutas, but it has to be like perfect micro.
Yeah, it really does. And we see that Hawk charging in, getting on top of those raids, and GG is called from Terror. Our USA Zerg goes up by 1 here after game 3.
What's harder to micro, Mutas or Wraiths?
I don't know how to micro both, so. Well,
I'd say there's more at stake with Wraiths. It's probably harder to micro Wraiths. I think it's probably harder to micro Wraiths, actually.
Yeah.
It's because like with Zurich, even if you take a little bit of damage, you got that regen, right? You're able to like come out of it, sit around for a minute, go back in. With Wraiths, you gotta like individually like repair them or don't, and just suddenly you have like a weaker Wraith the rest of the game. So that's part of it. But you do get to cloak, which is nice. So when they are able to win and they don't have vision, that's the easiest thing in the world to just like run in right click units, I guess. But you got to recognize the situation. Yeah, I think Largo's a pretty decent. Yeah, it's a good map for the matchup for sure. Let's do it.
No.
Oh man, I was trying. I was around 22:30 at one point, and then I just went full tilt, dropped down to 2K, and I'm like slowly trying to go up from there. So I was hoping to maybe do Pro League or Gosu League, but I don't even know if I'm gonna do Gosu League. So we'll see. But I'm trying. I'll probably play whatever I get in for sure. Yeah, it's fun for sure. All right, here we go. Game 4, spawning at the top left once again as that magenta Terran from Peru. We have Terror. And spawning at the bottom left as the red Zerg representing USA, we have Hawk.
So Largo is pretty much the twin brother of Allegro.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
That's the map I was thinking of. That's the map I was thinking of. I think the third is difficult for ZVP. Low ground mineral only. Yeah, it is. Or it's not for Zerg, but for Protoss. Protoss is very weak on this map against Zerg. Just because that mineral only is very difficult to hold against Hydra lurker timings. There's like a big high ground ramp, wide ramp above it, and you basically have to control that position at all times, which is not easy for Protoss to do. So spawning at the top left, we got Terror. He's putting his first barracks down. We'll see if he goes for some kind of a gas list. I was really hoping we'd see him 8 racks one game this series. So maybe next game, let's see. Meanwhile, we got that 12 hatchery at the natural here for Hawk. Very standard, very safe.
I mean, one of the things I was thinking about is map makers sometimes adjust, like the pro gaming map makers who make maps for ASL and then it gets adopted into ladder. They make maps sometimes to like balance matchups out at the pro gamer level. And I wonder what the consequences of that are when the map's adopted in ladder, right? So say Protoss players in ASL are disadvantaged, and you make Allegro. But what if Protoss and ladder really wasn't disadvantaged on Largo? So by making Allegro and making that mineral only even safer, I wonder, does that make sense?
It does.
Do you guys think like there is a gap between like Protoss and ASL and just Protoss you encounter on ladder?
Yeah.
It kind of goes back to like our race matchup balance discussion.
Yeah, it's complicated. There's just so many variables.
So I wonder if there should be different kinds of maps made for different, well, at least for ladder versus, the pro gamer level.
But
well,
I wouldn't care about these maps if the pros weren't playing. Is kind of how I think about it.
I think everybody is like that as well.
Yeah, I don't try to make my own stuff. Like I'm not that smart. I watch the pros and I'm just like, oh, that looked pretty cool. Like, I want to try to go 3 hatch before pool now, or whatever. oh man, he did a 7 pool and it crushed this Protoss player going Forge opener. I want to try that, you know?
Right? And maybe whatever's balanced at that pro level is balanced in ladder. It's an interesting thing that I thought about. I mean, could be totally wrong about it, but
Yeah, I'm sure there.
I hear so many people complain about Protoss and losing to Protoss on ladder. There's so many Protoss players, right? So if you make a map that gives slightly better advantage to Protoss, I don't know. Seems to be
do they
contributing
really
to that
need
problem.
another advantage, you know?
Yeah, I know that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. If that's a real thing, right? I don't know if it's just perceived.
It's
I
not
don't
a
have
real
stats.
thing. It's not a real thing because they wouldn't be trying to balance the map for Protoss's advantage at that point. I think. Like, trust me, Largo ZVP at the pro level. If you asked Rain, oh, you know, how often would you fare on that map against Queen, you know, in a PvZ? He would say not very often, you know, and Queen would probably say the opposite. He'd probably say, yeah, I'd pick that map. You know, if we had to play a best of one and that was the map we picked, I'd count my lucky stars, I think.
So you think whatever is balanced at the pro level must be balanced at the foreign?
What is foreign level and why does it matter?
I mean, you know, some people say like Terran is imba because at the pro gamer level they dominate, right? But then they have this double standard argument where they're like, in the foreign scene, however, Terrans aren't dominant. So it's like, I don't know.
I get it. My arguments just get better. I don't know. Like, yes, it may be more mechanically demanding at some like points of the game. I get that, but you still can't balance something based on the lowest common denominator. Or you get Overwatch and StarCraft 2.
Yeah.
Would you
I
change the game, Pato?
I had flagged you.
Would you change the game? What would you rebalance if you could rebalance anything?
If I could balance something, uh, I answered that question before, but yeah, but they don't, so it's the same.
They're just playing on touchpads. Like, I want to color my units over here, and let's box select, and yep. Oh wait, Grandma just emailed me. Hold on.
Well, I think I don't know. The best cells, maybe the EMP. I would make it the ratio a little bit bigger,
Okay, that's an
or
interesting one. Yeah. Or at least
or
it
maybe like
has like a
StarCraft.
delay. Yeah.
Yeah, or
Like a
maybe
delay away.
StarCraft 2 to have snipe on the ghost or something like that. It would be a cute thing.
To make ghosts more useful.
Yeah, something like that.
I'm still waiting for Mass Ghost Lockdown to become popular again. First Protoss. Eventually, player control is gonna get so good it's gonna be like AI. Every unit's just gonna get locked down. It's gonna be great.
Now if you make ghosts good, it would be very hard to micro like.
Man, big damage, good Muta timing in the main, and Terror actually GGing there. Wow, I kind of didn't see that coming. There just wasn't enough turrets, it felt like, in the main of Terror. And Hawk takes advantage of it.
I think there a plan to make this like all or nothing. If it is going to be fast or not, or fast or fun.
Okay.
He already has one. He said, "I proved myself. I won a macro game, so now."
How about
Still fit?
Yeah. That's I don't
Machine
know.
wants a map. Yeah, Machine wants a map.
I was gonna say
Between-
circuit breakers because you have that there highlighted. Yeah, we just don't get to see this map nearly as often anymore. So
There's a reason
yeah.
behind that Machine.
I've not really got the chance to play the new ASL map yet. Two years from now? Yeah, you could be right.
I think last
I mean-
time everybody was messaging them with 0 and they updated it.
I messaged, like, I made even I made like a Blizzard thread on their forums or whatever. I was like, all right, guys, like, it's been about time, you know? Thank you, we all appreciate you. But we're just getting a little bored of these maps. Here we go, game 5. Spawning at the bottom right of Circuit Breakers as the Red Zerg from USA, currently up 3-1 in the series. It is Hawk. And spawning at the bottom left as that magenta Terran from Peru, it is Terror.
So don't know why I'm sensing like an ARAX on this game. Terror is
I sure
very
hope
well
so,
known.
man.
Terror is very well known for his ARAX into something.
Into factory play, right?
Yeah.
So the last game and the first game, Terror went bio. Why was the outcome different? First game, he rocked it.
Yeah. CC first.
Yeah, he got away with that CC first. I think that a big thing to deal with it. Or reason to do why, but you know, I don't know. It definitely was still like pretty close from Terror. And yeah, we get to see it. Dude, this is my dream. I always talk about his 8 racks, and the last few series hasn't done it. In the whole like Zerg vs Terran exhibition, he never 8 raxed.
You have to ask in Spanish.
I have to ask in Spanish? Okay.
Yeah.
I asked him what his system is for picking builds, and he's just like, kind of like what I feel like. You know, the map sometimes, but it's not so much the map as much as what he feels like doing.
Well, I'm glad he feels like 8 raxing here, and I think it might pay off. He always does this with a gas too. You see the gas already being taken in the main. He follows up with a factory so that this is never all in. It's going to look very all in. It might feel all in to Hawk, but he always has a follow-up. This has been around for a long time. He didn't make it specifically, but it's still very good and very hard to deal with. Hawk wisely pulling his drones out. He's going to have a big fight here on his hands with his drones, and he's very well prepared for it. Maybe even pulling the drones a little too early, honestly. Loses one drone immediately. Good pickup by Terror. He doesn't miss a step. I mean, look at the lost mining time. I mean, look how scared Hawk is of this. He knows, like, how good Terror is with this 8 racks. He's been pulling 6-7 drones for, I mean, a minute here, it feels like. So Lings are being produced. Terror's gonna get behind this natural mineral line and just try to get the best possible trades he can. He's already forced so much lost mining time out. Gas even being taken at the natural. I wonder if that's gonna go down. Will that die? Nope.
No.
It won't. And Bunker doesn't look like it'll complete in time. So Hawk managing to pick up a pretty quick win here. Well, not win, but big advantage, let's say.
Success.
Yeah, this was success, and that is not easy to do. I've ranted and raved about Terra's 8 racks, and it is very good. So Hawk moving across the map, only slow lings to speak of. Really just trying to get that drone count back up. He probably expects this vulture to be moving across the map. And yeah, he's gonna need it. This vulture has to kill so many zerglings. But fortunately with this opener, they're always slow lings. You're never gonna have speed and time. So as long as he just micros correctly, he should be getting 10 free lings here. Ooh, a little bit of a hiccup there with that vulture. Hawk trying to go for an SCD kill, isn't able to get one.
And he spots the Wraith as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to force Hawk to go 2-hatch Hydra, but it looks like he was already planning on it.
Yeah, I think he already knows Terror and his tricks. Terror and tricks.
Yeah, he's just got to pull these Overlords back. Ooh, the barracks landing in the main is pretty interesting, though. Yeah, this is pretty tricky, but still
Does it have an
definitely.
academy? Because Marines without anything, yeah, no.
Yeah, it's just gonna be Marines. He can't afford anything else, I think. Ooh, Hydra's staying inside the main wisely. I don't know if that's for the Marines or if he's just afraid of the Wraith. Because it's pretty common to split your Hydras when you're doing this. Yeah, it could. I mean, Hawk could also maybe even just end up scouting the edge of his main or something, but we'll see. Oh, he found an Overlord. This hurts. This is not fun. So that Wraith is going to end up kind of paying for itself here. Ooh, Siege Tank being made. Hydra speed is done. We'll push off these 3 vultures. And I think once you see Hydra speed, that kind of keys it off to Terran that this is pretty committed from the Zerg as far as the Hydra numbers go. You know, you can make 1 or 2 Hydras per base and not get speed and go Spire play. That's definitely an A opener, but seeing Hydra speed, you gotta be a little wary as Terran. There's a lot of Marines being produced inside the main. I kind of think it's smart. It's almost like Terra's waiting for Hawk to move out, and then he's just gonna do a big like unupgraded Marine counter in the main, which could be pretty cute. That's a guess. I have no idea, but it's, you know, I think that's what Terra's doing right now. He's scouting to see the Hydra numbers and see when they move out. And when Hawk moves out, maybe he's got a chance to do some damage here. Because I mean, I actually do this against 1-1-1 pretty often. I'll just, at some point, you get like 12 Hydras and then you just move across the map and you sit, because they're not going to have Cloak, they're not going to have really many units. It's kind of hard for Terran to deal with. Okay, okay. Yeah. Oh, but he's not. Yeah, he thought that that Hawk was gonna move the
He will
Hydras
win.
out of the main. Wow, I guess he will? What is... He's really wanting the Spire to complete. He's trying to make 6 Muta right now, which would win. It would end the game. There we go. He's got to make some Sunkens too. Here we go. Terra moving in with these 4 siege tanks. Drones are probably going to have to get pulled here. He's just trying to buy any time he can for these Muta to get out. And 1 egg even being killed off? That's a Muta. That's a very expensive egg. Here we go. Muta's going down onto the siege tank, retarget the Wraith, probably a good call here. And yeah, suddenly there's no air damage here left for Terror, although he did take out 2 Muta somehow. This natural hatchery of Hawk will go down. Wow, what a play. Still
What a
though,
strange game.
yeah, this is bizarre. I have not seen something like this. Oh, Siege Tank sieging, going to try to go for drone kills here. Oh, but actually the drones are being pulled back out of range of that Siege Tank. And yeah, this is a weird one. Oh, Valkyrie out? What are we watching, man? This is nuts. I mean, that Valkyrie, if it's being repaired, could maybe kill a bunch of Muta, so Terror might have a chance to hold on here. Yeah, this is really funny to play. I like this. And yeah, he's actually easily going to be able to hold. Oh, man. Hawk's got to feel pretty silly right now.
Well, it's one base against one base, and one base Zerg sucks.
Yeah, one base Zerg does suck. I don't know what Hawk was supposed to do differently, though, honestly. Ooh. Yeah, they do have pretty good armor. Yeah, they are definitely good against Mutas. No joke. And yeah, this funky timing from Terror is gonna move across the map. Oh man, Hawk cannot be happy about this one. Oh no, is it... Nice Scourge connect, but he's gonna lose all of his Overlords here. And yeah, Hawk's just gonna counter. This Valkyrie will kill all 4 Overlords, and Hawk will be supply blocked forever. But big Muta counter from Hawk. He's just got to get so much damage done. Maybe this is the right call? Sunken in the main. There's nothing here. Oh man. Yeah, if he had like 3 Sunkens right now, I think he might have held, honestly.
So, wow.
I mean, is there a chance for the Muta to come back and maybe kill something? Is he making Hydras in the main right now? Sling. Oh.
Does.
Yeah, with that turret, I think that does it. These Mutas will not be able to win.
Yeah, there's too many units. Whoa. Yeah, not too many.
Wow. Good job
GG.
with the movement with the Valkyrie. Yeah, GG. Super well played from both here, but Terror with a... Yeah, fun game. Definitely not something you see every day. And yeah, Terror takes game 5, so that does bring it to a 3-2 series for, you know, the USA Zerg Hawk.
And sadly, it was a close match.
It was a super close match on both sides. Got to see some pretty interesting plays, some epic late game macro plays, some cute timings, some good control. Yeah, that was a great series all around from both these players. Alrighty. Well,
Yes.
that was fun. Yeah, really well played from both our players. Khala winning the first series in a convincing 5-0, and Hawk taking close 3-2 versus Terror here. Always some fun matches. Thank you everyone for tuning in and watching and supporting, you know, foreign StarCraft, Korean StarCraft, StarCraft in general. And yeah, thank you so much, Pato, for co-casting with me, bro. It's always a laugh and always a good time, man.
Thanks, Pato. Hey guys, before I let you go, I want you to give an acknowledgement to somebody out there on Discord, Twitch, streams from the BW community who doesn't get a shout out or recognition. If anybody comes to your mind, maybe Machine or Pato. You just mentioned them.
Ugh, doesn't get recognition. Hmm. I mean, for
Or whoever
me,
comes to mind.
Nyokin. I don't know,
There
man.
you
I
go.
know he cast ASL, but that dude's literally a legend.
You can
Someone
never give
who-
enough recognition to Naoki.
Yeah, someone
Great
I've
guy.
personally, you know, learned a lot from, and got the chance to live with and learn from quite a lot over the years. Oh, one more, Diggity SC. God, I love that guy. Zach
great.
is the best.
Great
We
guy.
need to get that guy casted more often when he's not too busy being a hardworking
Exactly. I do try to ask him, but he's babysitting sometimes.
dad. Yeah. That's
Well, he
the
doesn't have
thing,
a baby, guys. He has a child that he takes care
Yeah. Dad
of. Okay.
stuff.
Pato, what about you?
Shout out to my fellow Argentinian players. The player that I most learn from, yes, and that I admired, and he comes and goes. Now he's returning to Brood War, but I wanted to give a good shout out to the good old Sabbath from Clan Ash. He's a
Very
very
nice.
good friend.
Good
He's
guy.
a very good friend since I started playing back in the year 2000.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. So he's a Brazilian Argentinian. He's always been a close friend till today, and he's returned to play again. Once again, he bought a new computer to play, so hopefully we'll see him more around.
Holy shit! You guys are gonna make me cry. I didn't know we were gonna get this sentimental.
Yeah, you didn't put the sentimental theme song.
It's fucking Pato's perfume or something.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys.
Yeah, thank you, everyone.
We'll be back.
Be back next time. Take it easy.
Goodbye.
Have a good night, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.